I was a bad son, now I'm a good dad. I was a bad son, now I'm a good dad. I was a bad son, now I'm a good dad. What up? When I was a little boy, I put my hood on my back. All eyes on me and nobody cut me no slack. While bowling up and down, that cold money was all I thought. And daddy was selling drugs, so it made me say fuck sports. Him teaching me the game, felt like he was passing the torch. In front of projects, I jumped off the stoop, not a port. My OGs was my idols, not no Meech or Rick Ross. And remember, to be a boss, life was always the cause. I carried Christ on my back, that's why they call me the cross. And whenever shit was rough, I just hustle and stay my course. And every time I pull myself back on my feet, digging my cleats. Every step I take, rip up the streets. A gun in a vest, some money and weed is all I need. When I hit the block, my mama started losing her sleep. To love a nigga like me is really not for the weak. I became a villain after that 100 bullets ate up my Uncle G. I was a bad son, now I'm a good dad. I'm hands-on, my kids ain't raised by no iPad. I show up every day, if you a man, try that. Can't call yourself a man if you make a child and deny that. I was a bad son, now I'm a good dad. I'm hands-on, my kids ain't raised by no iPad. I show up every day, if you a man, try that. Can't call yourself a man if you make a child and deny that. I was a bad son, now I'm a good dad. I'm hands-on, my kids ain't raised by no iPad. I show up every day, if you a man, try that. Can't call yourself a man if you make a child and deny that. All my childhood transgressions did was teach me lessons. I laid down with beautiful women and they gave me blessings. The love I never gave all these niggas and hoes was for my kids, for them I bleed, little X's and O's. As a man, I gotta be more than just checks and clothes, Pampers and milk. Anytime I leave this house, I could get killed. You could be playing a block or going to work. Charleston and Texas showed us it ain't even safe in church. Every day I look at this world and it keep getting worse. Clips getting longer, switches is clearing them faster. And for some reason they end up in the hands of these little bastards. And go from me, gotta pay their funeral and buy their casket. I was a bad son, now I'm a good dad. I'm hands-on, my kids ain't raised by no iPad. I show up every day, if you a man, try that. Can't call yourself a man if you make a child and deny that. I was a bad son, now I'm a good dad. I'm hands-on, my kids ain't raised by no iPad. I show up every day, if you a man, try that. Can't call yourself a man if you make a child and deny that. I was a bad son, now I'm a good dad. I'm hands-on, my kids ain't raised by no iPad. I show up every day, if you a man, try that. Can't call yourself.
What up, what up, what up? Welcome to another episode of Good Dad, Bad Son with your favorite cousins, Will and BJ. So we got a couple people in the chat already. What's up, family? What up, B?
What's up with it, bro?
Man, cooling. Cooling. Happy to be back out on here with our people. I'll be looking forward to Sunday night now. Any other? All right, there we go. Technical difficulties, but we back at it.
You still on?
Yeah, we back. Sorry about that, family. But yeah, Sunday the new fun day. Any other time I'll be trying to find something on Netflix and trying to probably eating a couple bags of chips, doing what I ain't supposed to be doing. Let me see. Bank said, "Yo, what up, bro?"
Banks, what up?
Dr. J. Kelly in the building.
The usual suspects.
Yes, sir. Man, I don't even know where to start tonight. We're just gonna have to get into it. Before Kurt and the family pull up, I had one to get. What's one headline this week that made you literally say, "What the f"?
The Chicago one, man.
Just the album release shooting,
Yeah,
the drive-by.
Chicago shooting, yep. The Chicago shooting. It's all good. We ain't going nowhere.
Yeah, we still here, y'all. So how many people end up dying in that shooting?
Five. Five. Oh, it was four at first, then one just died in the hospital.
Oh,
They got
man.
shot in the eye or something like that. Oh, they just had another mass shooting in Chicago last night. Seven dead. I mean, seven shot. Seven shot.
Are they saying it's connected or they don't know?
No, it's not connected. It's something totally different. Chicago, man, they gang. He said I might not on too.
They can't hear us either?
Close to that. I might not on. I heard that.
Somebody give me a thumbs up in the chat. Can you hear me?
Good now, Cross? Banks? He said yeah.
Okay. I don't know what's going on. I'm gonna have to. Apple ain't appling like it used to.
We should be good now?
Yeah, it looked like it.
Doing it like every 15, 20 seconds, right?
Right.
Yeah, Chicago. No shooting in Chicago and Texas.
Okay. Hold on.
Texas joint.
So,
That flood in Texas is real messed up. He did it again?
we look like we good. But Cross just said nope. I don't know if he behind or what.
Oh. Yeah, Texas is bad, bro. That flood is bad.
That flood. How many you been keeping count? They said it was, I know the one headline I seen like 20 girls was missing.
Yeah, 27 girls is missing and 50 people dead. People whistle. That's a egregious budget. That's crazy, bro.
All right, BJ, you better.
simple too.
All right, you want beef for now. Try to find another solution.
What else can we use? My mic still up, Vince?
Oh, you straight.
We trying to figure it out, y'all. The computer keep crashing for some reason. My joint keep crashing.
Connection is unstable. If you're on Wi-Fi, try unplugging it.
Wi-Fi? Let me get off. I'm gonna get Wi-Fi too. Let me take shut off. Right. 5 minutes, y'all. Oh, this is why I sound distant. I ain't even on the fucking mic. I ain't even on the mic. My bad, y'all. My head somewhere else, for real, for real. But the joint keep crashing on us. The joint keep crashing on us. Cross, what you think it is, Cross?
They say the devil trying to work against us, bro.
Will say he likes Sundays. I don't know what's going on. Might be good now. It would have crashed by now, huh?
Right.
Yourself a man if you make a challenge, deny that. Good, that, bad, some podcast. I was a bad son, now I'm a good dad. I was a bad son, now I'm a good dad. I was a bad son, now I'm a good dad. What up? When I was a little boy, I put my hood on my back. All eyes on me and nobody cut me no slack. While bowling up and down, that cold money was all I thought. And daddy was selling drugs, so it made me say fuck sports. Him teaching me the game, felt like he was passing the torch. In front of projects, I jumped off the stoop, not a port. My OGs was my idols, not no Meech or Rick Ross. And remember, to be a boss, life was always the cause. I carry Christ on my back, that's why they call me the cross. And whenever shit was rough, I just hustle and stay my course. And every time I pull myself back on my feet, digging my cleats. Every step I take, rip up the streets. A gun in a vest, some money and weed is all I need. When I hit the block, my mama started losing her sleep. To love a nigga like me is really not for the weak. I became a villain after that 100 bullets ate up my Uncle G. I was a bad son, now I'm a good dad. I'm hands-on, my kids ain't raised by no iPad. I show up every day, if you a man, try that. Can't call yourself a man if you make a challenge, deny that. I was a bad son, now I'm a good dad, I'm hands-on. My kids ain't raised by no iPad. I show up every day, if you a man, try that. Can't call yourself a man if you make a challenge, deny that. I was a bad son, now I'm a good dad, I'm hands-on. My kids ain't raised by no iPad. I show up every day, if you a man, try that. Can't call yourself a man if you make a challenge, deny that. All my childhood transgressions did was teach me lessons. I laid down with beautiful women and they gave me blessings. The love I never gave all these niggas and hoes was for my kids, for them I bleed little X's and O's. As a man, I gotta be more than just checks and clothes, Pampers and milk. Anytime I leave this house, I could get killed. You could be playing a block or going to work. Charleston and Texas showed us it ain't even safe in church. Every day I look at this world and it keep getting worse. Clips getting longer, switches is clearing them faster. And for some reason they end up in the hands of these little bastards. And go from me, gotta pay their funeral and buy their casket. I was a bad son, now I'm a good dad, I'm hands-on. My kids ain't raised by no iPad. I show up every day, if you a man, try that. Can't call yourself a man if you make a challenge, deny that. I was a bad son, now I'm a good dad, I'm hands-on. My kids ain't raised by no iPad.
You see, I gotta slow down. All right, family, thanks for bearing with us. I think we got it under control now. Appreciate y'all for hanging in there with your favorite cousin.
Oh, shit.
We was talking about the floods before we got so rudely interrupted. Bree said it was like over 70 deaths or people missing.
70 missing.
Man, that's rough.
Yeah, once you get the missing in the flood, man, it's pretty much over with.
Yeah.
It's pretty much over
Kurt
with.
just hopped in.
Matter of fact.
How y'all feeling tonight, man? Y'all like hanging out with us on Sundays? Let me know, cause I'm feeling Sundays. Let me know in the chat. Give me a thumbs up if y'all like Sunday nights.
I was at the let me see this clip, Will.
Okay.
I was at the racetrack just now on my way over here. I'm in the back getting some ice, and it's it's this white dude and white lady back there. They eating like a mug. They stuffing everything, and I'm like, oh, they not paying for this.
Oh, they stealing.
Hell yeah. Them niggas ate like 3 hot dogs, chips. I started to go tell on them, man. I was fighting with my spirit. I swear, I was fighting with my soul, man. They back there eating like a mug.
Dang.
And that,
Like,
hey, BJ, that wouldn't have been,
this.
and that wouldn't have been snitching. You was just gonna
And
tell on that.
And I'm online with a cup of ice. I was like, man, I'm about to walk out with this shit. I was bad as hell. I was like, man. Then but Shorty ended up letting me go. She like, nah, you good.
Auntie said she could hang out on Sundays.
Hey,
Appreciate you.
can y'all hear me good?
Yeah,
man.
All
Like
right.
I said, Sunday's cool with him.
Yeah, you don't sound too muffled.
Yeah, I had to cancel them plans, man. Too many changes. They want to change this, do that, do this, that. Fuck all that.
I know how you feel. You put yourself out there and trying to help somebody else.
Yeah, and they want to change the dates, and I got to change my schedule. Then the itinerary change another way. Then they want to do it. Man, I look.
Oh, my man just texted me, said Trump already on top of the flood disaster. Biden would have took a month to do something. Straight up.
He wasn't on top of the disaster in St. Louis so goddamn quick.
Hey, man, he don't like you niggas, man, in St. Louis, man. He don't like you niggas in St. Louis. Y'all ain't vote for him. Texas voted for him, man. St. Louis ain't vote for him.
But
Real quick, BJ, before we jump into these topics, I feel like I know your answer, but would you rather have dinner with Elon Musk or Dr. Umar Johnson, and why?
neither one.
Thanks, BJ.
Elon Musk. Elon Musk.
Why so?
Shit, I'm. Why not?
You feel like you could pull up on Umar whenever you feel like it?
I can pull up. Definitely, I'll pay to chop it up. I done paid Umar before for consultation twice.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, when Eli got in that trouble in school,
Okay.
I paid $50 for 30 minutes, and we was on the phone for an hour.
Wow.
Heard up. Because I had Eli and my nephew went to one of his lectures in Brooklyn when they was like 6, maybe 7, something like that. No, it was 2013. So yeah, it could have been. They was young.
I got a
It
question
was,
about.
hold on, Kurt. It was 2013. They went to a Umar lecture in Brooklyn.
Okay.
So Eli had to be like 3 or 4 then. But anyway, I was telling, I said, yeah, you know this kid was at your lecture. I might even send him the picture. I did. I sent him the picture.
I'm about to say, somehow I got the picture.
And he said, I remember this. He said, I remember him. I remember this.
Boy, 6 feet
I said,
now.
man, yeah. I said, he 12 now. He said, man. So me and him was chopping it up. He was telling me what to look for. He was telling me what to do. He was telling me what to look for. And yeah, we just, gave me insight. Told me to stay calm, just, think, you know what I mean? Don't get irrational and stuff.
Okay.
The procedures, what's going to happen, what I can do and what I can't do. And that's that. And then I paid earlier, like 2000 and I paid like 2017 for consultation on something. I forgot what it was, but it was school related. It always be kids at school related.
Yeah.
For real.
Y'all see how BJ be holding out, man? I ain't know nothing about nothing. He don't pay
What?
for a consultation
With
just
Umar?
recently. Yeah.
Man, your kid's grown, man. You don't need no consultation. Your kid's grown. I needed help. Straight up. I needed help,
trying to
bro.
rub
Instead of going to Dr. Umar, you should have came to me. I wouldn't have charged you nothing.
Oh, shit, nigga. You can't help nothing.
We'd have been sending Eli damn oodles and noodles right now, bro.
But,
Sort of kind of like taking that legal advice from the law library in prison from BJ, right?
nah, one thing about Umar Johnson, he when it comes to them kids in that school, that's what he specializes in. All that
My
other
thing,
stuff, he just talking.
the one crazy thing, how, with him having such a bad relationship with his daughter, how he gonna school somebody on how to do with their kids?
It's not about how to deal with their kids. It's the school system. Because for one, he has his PhD and all that stuff. He was a principal. He's a psychologist. You know what I mean?
He got a PED. What's that?
A PhD. I
Oh,
mean,
okay.
listen. I'm not about to judge no man over the relationship they got with their daughter, especially a daughter that was raised with their mother. Because I've been through that. I'm going through that now.
Right now.
So I'm down. I'm not gonna be the nigga to sit here and be like, oh, that nigga. Because I could judge a lot of niggas by that. You know what I mean? I wouldn't do that. He is what he is. One thing about it, he know. You got to watch his lectures or when he does his
I
lectures
listened
on the
to him.
school and black boys in schools and all that, he's on point with everything. You can't deny that. I don't do personal relationships in business or careers or what they special. Because when you go to the doctor, you don't know that doctor's personal relationship with their kids. That doctor you go to see. You don't know their personal relationship with their children, so I don't even get caught up in that.
Cross said he a fraud. He said he a fraud, bro.
In which way? I'm not gonna sit here and defend Umar Johnson though. You know what I mean?
Right.
I don't know. I mean, my relationship with him is cool.
Yeah.
You know, he hasn't fraud me.
The advice you went for, you received.
Yeah, I don't see him as a scammer. He hasn't scammed it. He's been under the eye of the FBI because of black people. White people haven't called the feds on this man. This man ain't had to go to court and prove who he was because of white people, black people. You know what I mean? What makes him a fraud, Cross? That'll be my question. What makes Dr. Umar Johnson a fraud? Kurt, you seem like you might think he a fraud too.
Well, no, I
You
listen
back
to a
muffled,
few.
Kurt.
I feel, huh?
You back muffled. You back sounding far away.
Okay, my house is.
Go ahead, Kurt.
Can you hear me better now?
Yes, sir.
All right. I don't really judge him because he do got some good advice. I just was basing it off of really these posts that his daughter be making. How she's so, and I can understand how that is too. Cause my son was raised by his mom until he came to stay with me, and that brother is off the chain.
And you don't want nobody judging you by what little Kurt says about you.
Right. Cause his his view is biased. It's skewed. You know, it's been poisoned.
And another thing I can say about Dr. Umar Johnson's daughter, how old is she? About 23, 24, or what is she, 28, 27?
About the age that Vanny started acting, little Kurt started acting crazy.
I don't know what made her come out now, but she ain't been saying anything.
Cross said a lot of his education he been lying about.
Nah, you wrong, Cross. You don't know what you're talking about. He went to court for that. What part of his education he lied about? He actually had to go. He actually had to go to court to prove who he was. What other person? There's a lady going around doing interviews right now, Dr. Joy or whatever. She don't have no degrees in anything. She talking about she's a psychologist. Ain't nobody doing nothing. You know what I mean? But it's the guy who's saying black men with white women is some bullshit.
Fighting the establishment.
Fighting the establishment, saying we need a school just for our black boys and our black girls, and you know what I mean? The guy that's promoting black is under investigation to prove who he is and prove the degrees he have. Why do we even care? Since when we started caring about people's degrees being accurate and all that? But he went to court before the people, whoever he had to go to court. First, he had to go to the same court trial hearing or whatever. They were saying he was stealing the money from GoFundMe.
From the donations?
Yeah, from the donations. He had to show them that I haven't taken a dime from that. Here you go. I haven't taken a dime. Why would he have to take money from that when he get $10,000 a lecture?
To pull up.
Yeah, to pull up. He get paid to pull up. I haven't taken a dime from here you go. I haven't touched a dime. That's for the school. Yeah. But you got all these black people saying, oh, he's stealing money. You still ain't open a school. These are people that don't know what it takes to open anything, bro. Let alone a school.
You gotta tell me.
With no funding from the government.
Right.
No funding from the government. Which his school was just vandalized too in Maryland. Cross, you probably the one. You probably the one that did that shit, Cross.
He said he pulled up on him a bunch of times.
Yeah, Cross out there in Maryland. Somebody vandalized his school, Cross. Yeah.
Hey, Will, get Noah them in here so we can come.
They drive. They both drive. They said they'll be here by 8:30. But also I sent my homegirl. She was having issues with her son. They was trying to leave her son back out of kindergarten or something because he had a speech problem. I told Dr. Umar Johnson used to have a free conference call every Tuesday morning. I told her about it. Yeah. Yo, call this number, boom, boom. It's gonna be a free conference call. You just gotta wait and get in there, whatever. And she waited. She sat in there and waited. And he hit up. She was able to, get in and talk to him and whatever. And and he saved her from, her son having to be left back or put in special ed and none of that.
What up, Jay?
Don't let him go. Don't put him in special ed. No.
I thought y'all was gonna have the police officer lady in.
I don't know what you talking about, Kurt.
Didn't y'all say that y'all had a police officer lady that was gonna be on the podcast?
Well, he must be talking to you, bro.
I don't know who.
You remember at the fireworks thing? You said you was talking to the police officer.
Oh, yeah, I ain't never get a chance to holler at her. She ain't never come back past. But now that I know that there's a bunch of them down there, there ain't nothing to reach out.
Hey, let me get on here. What Cross came back with?
Cross said he donated 100 books to the school.
That's what's up.
Mom said Dr. Umar gives great information on our boys being diagnosed with ADHD and medicated in these public schools.
Yeah.
Jay, they trying to destroy his character. That's a fact.
They try to do that with any black man that's coming up.
Not they, we.
Yeah, you talking about they, we.
Well, I'm talking about
you just did that, and Cross is doing it. You and Cross.
No, I just said. I said who I'm talking about. They is they as in the people that's trying to assassinate the character. And it's always seemed like it's us that's trying to destroy us.
Well, that's exactly what it is.
Such as Kamala Harris ain't black enough, or Obama ain't black enough.
Clip. I'm not destroying their character though. I'm just saying they not representing for black people. Because I'm just going against what y'all say. Oh, they black, so this, that, and the third. Well, I'm voting for them just because of the color of their skin.
I didn't say I voted for them because they was black. I
Paul
voted.
said he really know what's up with Umar. We gonna have to get
Oh,
his
okay.
side. We gonna have to get his point of view. You go to the video you sent me though. Hold tight, y'all.
Anybody out
This
there?
the flood in Texas. That's
I
messed
have
up
my
right there.
dad on hospice and I need to get him out of here. He's bedridden. He can't walk. He can hardly move. And look where the water is. So somebody please, we've called 911. It's bad over here. In front of the house, it's like a river. I mean, it's like a lake. They can't come look. We've lost our cars, everything. We've lived here for 30 years and this has never happened. So anybody, please, if you have a boat or something, I need help. I need to get my dad out of here. It's starting to smell like sewer in here.
Pop's in a hell of a position. Look like he on oxygen and everything.
Pops got to get him
Let it.
somebody back.
Yeah, they need to
Go
float
where?
them on that fat ass chick that was talking about. You know, and who cared? They didn't say shit about them people that was living in tents in St. Louis. I'm telling you, man. I'm not. You know, the money that FEMA is supposed to help the public, the United States of America, they using that FEMA fund to build an alligator jail. What are they talking about? I don't care about that. They shouldn't have lived over there. That was the first time a tornado ever hit the city of St. Louis, North City. And I've been around this city for 60 something years. It never hit North St. Louis until it just recently hit. And they still ain't over there. Them people still living in tents. They building on their own. They ain't getting no help from the government. So I don't have no sympathy for them, and they didn't have no sympathy for those people. All those black people is suffering right now. They got their electric back on, but hell, they ain't even got no house to put no electric in.
You saying you don't have no sympathy for the people in Texas?
Them people that's floating up and down that river.
Yeah,
Hey,
they in Texas. They don't have nothing to do with your situation.
They looking for
what?
help too.
Yeah.
Right.
Why
What
you mad at
they
them?
they they now looking for help, and they gonna get help in Texas. But St. Louis didn't get none. Them blacks over in North St. Louis. North St. Louis is 98% black. FEMA ain't helped them out at all. They can't. They sent 42 people over there for the whole North St. Louis, and that's it.
You should be mad at FEMA then, huh?
Uh, who controls FEMA? The government.
Yeah, but you mad at them people. What up, Davon?
I ain't mad at them. I'm
What up,
saying, why should
brothers?
I
What
care
up,
about
brothers?
them when
Hey, yo.
didn't nobody care about us?
Hey, I
Just
can't
like
tell
they
you who to
didn't.
care about. I can't tell you who to care about.
Right. I don't give a fuck. Like you don't give a fuck about the Mexicans. Like you said, the Mexicans didn't care when we was going through that. Why should we care about that? Shit, fuck them.
No, I said the immigrants. I don't care about the immigrants.
Okay, and I don't care about them white folks over there and down there in Texas somewhere. Talking about her father getting ready to float down the river. She should have had a boat.
You had that right. Yeah,
Tough crowd tonight,
you had
boy.
that right.
Miss Williams said 100.
Hey,
You agreeing with Kurt, Miss Williams? Don't encourage it.
hey, 4th of July weekend, man. How was your 4th of July weekend?
And that too. Fuck that too.
New
That's
York,
they
first
independent.
time ever not having any murders or shootings on 4th of July.
Man, I was so happy
Ever.
to see that. We need to
I thought
string a
that was
couple days
amazing.
together now.
That was dope.
Yeah.
Yeah, first time
That
ever
was
in New
amazing.
York. No shootings and no murders on the 4th of July.
So who do you attribute that to?
The people.
The mayor?
No, the mayor ain't got
Definitely
nothing to
not.
do with it. I said the people. Why would I
I'm
attribute that to the
saying
people? to the men.
I mean, it's the same people that's been there that's been doing shooting. I'm just saying, you think it's the policy that they put in place there?
What policies did they put in place?
I mean, whatever the policy is, you think it's a policy that they put in that have
No, man, ain't
dropped
no
the.
policy gonna stop niggas from shooting and killing each other, bro. It's the
They
people.
just have to do it on the
The
people.
people
Gotta.
was more concerned with lighting fireworks than shooting each other. That's all it was. They was too busy lighting firecrackers, lighting fireworks. If you saw New York, New York was
Lit.
Man, they tore New York up. They trashed New York just with fireworks. Because to my knowledge, fireworks are illegal in New York. So that's a big thing to have some fireworks and
Yeah.
light up the city and all that, especially in the Bronx.
When we was in Buffalo, we would have to. They
I
don't
think it's a
sell them in Buffalo.
$10,000
We had to go to
fine or
Erie,
something.
Pennsylvania, to get them.
I guess they went to Jersey.
Yeah.
I guess they probably went to Jersey and got them. But to my knowledge, it's illegal in New York. And for extras, the dude that from Cali or whatever that be all over the YouTube, he blew his hand off.
Yo, I seen that.
I feel like
There's a bunch of
this
dumb
one
clips,
celebrity idiot. I feel like it's one celebrity idiot every year who blow his hand off.
You low too, Davon.
Kurt, turn your mute your TV.
Yeah.
You low too, Davon. Kurt got AirPods. That sound good. Hold on.
Yeah, I got
matter of fact,
earbuds in. My earbuds in. I'm about to take mine out. I just take my earbud out.
I got some for y'all. Go ahead, y'all keep going. Yeah, so.
What's up, Dave? I don't see you lighting nothing up.
Should black people
What
be
up, Kurt?
celebrating the 4th of July?
I am. I'm at work today, but my shit in the car. As soon as I
Davon,
get
you
the
too
key,
low, bro.
Don't let it.
The sound crazy. You ain't got no earbuds?
He just took it out.
I just took it off. Let me put it back on. See if it's.
Yeah, you sound mad low. You sound
I was
far
on
away.
my phone before. There's no problem.
Probably because you was sitting in the room.
How about now?
Go ahead, say something, Davon.
What's that?
Same.
It's a delay.
All right, let me get out. I'm gonna get out and come back.
All right. I just sent you that clip, Will. Kurt, you think black people should be celebrating the 4th of July, Independence Day?
I think they should be celebrating Juneteenth. That's the one that I celebrate.
So that's a no?
That's a no.
Okay.
I never really liked the 4th of July because I never understood why people would spend thousands of dollars just to blow it up.
Miss Williams. What we supposed to do, Miss Williams? What would you like us to do, Miss Williams? They all that work.
That sound better?
You know what I'm saying? It's just like Christmas. Yeah. They buy Christmas gifts and then buy, gift wrapping only to tear the gift wrapping off and throw the paper away. You just bought.
So that's a no on 4th of July, right?
Yeah, and Christmas.
I ain't asking about Christmas, man. That's a no on 4th of July. Davon, what you think, man?
I'm like, I don't celebrate none of these motherfucking holidays. I kind of agree with Kurt, man. Fuck all of them. Christmas included, 4th of July. Fuck Juneteenth, too. Fuck all of them.
Y'all ain't got to curse so much, man.
Cross said we need to celebrate all
I'm
American
sorry.
holidays. We're American. He got a point?
What you think, Will?
Yeah, I mean, I ain't going as far as Cross went, but I think we need to celebrate as much as we can because life is hard enough. Not necessarily the holiday itself, but if it's the only time we can get off work and get together with our family and do a little something, I'm with it.
But we
Black
should
people
need a
ain't got no
holiday to
business
do that,
celebrating
Will.
Independence Day, man. Like, come on.
Yeah,
we
ain't
were
got
still
no-
in slavery.
No.
July 4th, 1776, we were still slaves.
The people who
Right.
celebrate don't know nothing about that.
That's the problem.
That's the problem.
So if they don't know nothing about, okay,
They just happy to get a day off.
they
work.
don't know nothing about that, then what are they celebrating? Because that's Independence Day. That's where independence come from.
I'm with you.
July 4th, 1776.
Right.
We were still slaves. We were in slavery.
Still
Why are we
slaves.
celebrating 4th of July?
Because Donald Trump said he wanted to make America great again.
Cross said we free now.
It's
Auntie said they just
not
celebrating the day
about
off.
that, man.
Well, we
That's
said,
fine with me. I can celebrate the day off.
Jay, I agree with you, Jay. Straight program.
What Jay say?
Whether you, even if you celebrating the day off, they programming you to celebrate that day off. Whether you gonna go out there and spend all your hard-earned 9 to 5 money to celebrate the 4th of July, that's not even about you.
wait, just to blow your money up and fill their pockets up, right?
And damn near blow yourself up.
Miss
That
Williams
shit crazy.
said, I only want to
Yeah.
celebrate birthdays because most people don't get to see the next day.
I don't celebrate no holidays. I don't do
This
no
this is a
holidays.
this a
I don't do nothing.
this a true story. I seen BJ work for about 5 birthdays straight, maybe more. Word, maybe more. I seen him push his birthday 2 days later to go out and all that, and it was Friday. We could have went out a Friday night. He worked the Friday night, pushed it to like a Sunday or something.
Yeah, I ain't trying. I want some money.
Including
Even when I did celebrate the 4th of July, even then when I did back in New York, when I did do the Roman candles and the M80s and all that, I used to stick the M80s in the phones on the corner and get quarters. That's all I did. I went from corner to corner to corner to corner to corner. I get like $4 or $5. I paid 50 cents. M80s was 2 for $1. I paid 50 cents for them M80s. It got about $5 out the telephone. And when you blow the telephones up, the shit be free. Now look at this dumb motherfucker right here.
You ready?
Yeah. Look at this.
Stop
right here,
moving. Hold it up. Hold it up. Hold it up. Legend, come in.
Oh, shit. Dumb shit.
Idiot. All in the crib.
Yeah.
Blow
I
up
ain't
She
got no
need to go
words
to
for that.
jail.
That is a fact.
She need to go to jail. Why would you get his?
I ain't
He
got no
had to
words
be
for that.
3 years old, 4 years old.
And how you can't catch him?
Why would you give him?
He's
She didn't really
2.
even chase him. She's so busy yelling.
And she
Why
laughing.
would you light? Why would you
She
give him
laughing.
a Roman candle, bro? That might have not been a Roman candle because I didn't hear nothing popping.
What up,
That was
Josh?
the other joint. Why would you?
I'm gonna go to the
why would
other
you-
joint.
Whatever it was, that kid ain't got no business. And it's just like giving a kid a firearm. You know, that shit's gonna fuck around and blow up on them. You know that
You should have given him a little sparkler. Fuck
it,
this.
Yeah,
it's
you
a
get the
it,
kids the
kids.
sparklers.
Yeah.
You get the kids the
even
I
sparklers.
wouldn't
You
even
don't
give
give
him
them the
that.
actual.
but
I ain't
She's
giving
even
him no
even
sparkler. He's 2 years old.
even with the sparklers, them sparklers can burn the shit out you.
That's a
Kids
fact.
should not handle those. You know,
you
stick them
right.
in the
You right.
ground, and you know because that shit'll burn you. And once you get burned by something, if it's severe enough, it could mess you up for life.
You
Mm-hmm.
right.
When the Roman candles hit you in your eye, then you walk around with a glass eye. And
That's a
and it's a
fact.
reason why you have to be a certain age to buy it. So you should be have to be a certain age to be able to pop pop them too.
My Duke said who was videotaping? She was
She was.
videotaping.
She was
Yeah.
videotaping and lighting it, and she is
He
stupid. She
was.
need to go to jail, bro. I ain't gonna lie. She need to go to jail, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What up, Josh? That was dumb.
Super stupid.
Nora and them about to come in. Nora and Nadia about to come in.
They hit you, they text you.
Yeah. Yeah. I sent you one more. I'll send you one more, Will.
Okay.
Yeah. So Diddy found guilty on prostitution charges, still no bail, man. What you think about that, Kurt?
They
That's
want his
crazy for
ass.
a no bail.
They want him. And you know, us having deal with the penal system, you know, when you have a behavior such as a violent behavior, they ain't gonna give you no bail because you got extenuating circumstances. They just not gonna give, that ain't just Diddy. That's with anybody. If even if you haven't been convicted of a felon, if you've been locked up or there have been some behavioral issues with you throughout, life that the police know about, they're not gonna give you no bail because they're gonna think that you're gonna get out and do some more stupid shit.
Well, he's being
They gonna
held on something called the Mann Act that was passed in 1910. They
the man act.
Yeah, it's called the Mann Act. They really had that for Jack Johnson. Remember Jack Johnson, the boxer?
Yeah, yeah.
See, Jack Johnson was riding state to state with all those white women.
And he was knocking motherfuckers out.
Yeah, he was riding state to
Be,
state with all them white women.
behavior such as he's violent, he could punch the shit out you and knock your ass out. You know, that's just how the court system is. You know, he put himself in that position, and he's just gonna have to, you know, do his little thing, do his bit, and come on out.
Jack Johnson was convicted in 1913 of taking his white girlfriend across state line.
Yeah, that was back in the days that you couldn't be caught with no white woman.
Well, he was caught with them multiple times.
Got a whole law after named after him, right?
I got a personal story about something like that. My father's brother used to always go over in what they call Dago Hills back when, you know, the gangsters, the Italians and shit was running shit. And my daddy, I used to hear my daddy tell him, you need to quit going over there fucking with them white women. I was young then, so we talking about the better part of 60 years ago. He went over there one day. They didn't find him until they pulled him up out the river. They cemented him in his Cadillac and pushed him in the Mississippi River alive, cemented from the waist down. That's just how it was. You can't get caught whistling at no white woman.
They Puffy legal team, they thinking about getting their bread back from Cassie. They want to sue her for the they said 20 million. The article I seen.
Oh no, didn't she get 30?
She got 30, but with the article I read, they're trying to get 20 of it back because they paid her to not talk. Right?
I was wondering how was she able to get on the stand and do all that if she had got paid.
Well, I guess she had to. Y'all would tell me if they get no, it's ignoring them. If you get subpoenaed, you got to, right?
Oh, I don't know.
I don't know how that works.
Why would she get subpoenaed though? They don't know your business.
She they star witness.
But did she sign a non-disclosure?
Yeah, that's what she got paid for.
Well, she could still go up there and say I plead the fifth.
That's what they saying. That's the whole. That's why they want their money back.
Yeah, she could still go up there and say I plead.
Well, that girl that went after Trump about, you know, the prostitution thing, she signed a non-disclosure order too. You know, the prostitute that Trump supposed had did something with.
She came to court too, right?
Yeah, she went to court.
Yeah, so that joint don't matter then. I ain't paying them then. You gonna come to court regardless? I ain't paying.
Josh said if the NDA was broken, then she got to get the money back.
Yeah.
Simple.
So now she gonna be there broke again with her husband, and her husband looking at her. She been pissed all in her mouth and all that with them 3 kids. And all. Yeah, I'm getting my money back. That's a fact.
You broke now.
Straight up. You play that clip right quick. One more stupid fool for 4th of July. But these are all the type of clips I was getting.
My God! Oh, shit! Oh, fuck
Let it play one more time, bro.
Fuck no!
I thought he was dead.
Hey, Sarai, back up, Sarai. Back up.
Yeah, I thought he was dead.
And then how was it funny?
Look at that.
Oh, shit!
Oh, my God! Oh, fuck no! My God! Oh, shit!
How you ain't know? You ain't see it? You ain't know it was in there?
Fuck no!
That's attempt murder for real. For real.
No. Hey, Sarai, back up, Sarai.
That's attempt murder. That's attempt murder.
Like, what is you on?
That's attempt murder, man.
Davon cracking love. What the hell is you on, man?
You said I gotta die.
For real, bro.
Hey, cause the average person like me, I know I'd have got out that motherfucker shooting like a motherfucker. You know,
Did just like everybody would have did, just like dude did. He probably was looking for it to throw it back out.
I wouldn't have been trying to look for it. I'd have been getting as far away from that thing as I could. I'm out. I got to go.
I'll
Cause
beat that out.
if it explode and hit the wrong thing, the whole car gonna go.
Yeah,
I'm
I'll
getting
beat that
out.
out.
Yeah, I would have jumped out dead in his ass, me personally, but
Yeah, I'd have been after his motherfucking ass. Nigga, what you trying to kill me? You know, that's worse than shooting a
Yeah.
pistol at you.
what's dude name on No Jumper, BJ? Got it.
Adam.
Adam. Okay, yeah, he got it.
Oh, 4 extra.
That pistol
No, the one got his hand blew off.
4 extra.
Okay.
Hey, so what y'all think about when you talking about Dr. Umar Johnson? I saw a clip where I sent it to you, Will. This woman said when she see black men with white women, they have some kind of weakness. They have some kind of weakness about them.
Damn.
And when she see black women with white
that's
men,
doing too much.
they're tired of what they've been through something with black men.
So she giving black women a pass.
Yeah, basically. What you think, Kurt? Is that some kind of weakness?
No, what I think it is, because like I'm dealing with that with Lil Kurt. All he do is white girls. You know, me and him had a real bad disagreement about, you know, like when he came home from basic training, you know, Yana was like, go in there and check on your son. I was like, what? I go in there and all I see is a white booty up and down, up and down. Nigga, you got a white woman in my house having sex? I think it's more so that because his mama was so toxic that he just developed this real dislike toward black women. You know, having grew up under her tutelage or whatever. That was before I got him. You know, when I finally went down and got him and brought him down to Georgia, he had already been poisoned about black women because that's all who he dealt with. He took a black woman to his high school graduation and left her at the front door. They say he was over there dancing like that dude on the Fresh Prince. What's that dude name?
Carlton.
Like Carlton. Like, what the hell is wrong with you, bro? I don't get it. I don't get it.
What you think, Davon?
Cuz left us.
Nah, I think he's still on. His video is tripping.
To my defense,
What you think, Will?
I've
Go
never
ahead,
been
Kurt.
with a white woman. You know, so I don't get what they see.
What you think, Will?
I don't think it's no weakness. You just like who you like what you like. And then for the sisters that choose to go white, I mean obviously I don't partake, but I don't think it's no mental illness or nothing like that. They just like what they like and like who they like.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with that. I don't know. Now it's 2025 now, man. It is what it is, man.
Like since I had to
I
school,
wouldn't say he has a weakness.
so like since I had the school,
No,
not relationship wise, but since I had the school open since 2017, I probably had 4 serious problems, all been from black women. I never had no issue with nobody white. Every problem I had, 4 black women and 1 black guy.
and that started back when
You got the clip ready,
I
Will?
I believe right when they started like the welfare system, because at that point, you know, the black man couldn't be in the house. I remember when my mama got on welfare, she didn't even need to be on welfare because my father worked at uh, Boeing and he worked at the railroad. Plus, he had a supermarket, so we was well in the middle class. But she still went and got food stamps. She had 8 kids, so she went. But every time back in them days, the caseworker used to come to the house. He had to run out the back door. We used to have to toast the oven in the wall. You know what I'm saying? And so it developed a break in the structure of the family. You know, the man being in the household. Because you know, back in my daddy days, my grandparents' days, it was always a father and a mother in the house. No matter what problems they worked their problems out.
Oh, I must have sent it. I'm sorry.
You know, but that welfare system broke the family down and divided the families.
Yeah, what that got to do
Women
with a black
became.
man being with a white woman?
Say that again.
I said, what that got to do with a black man being with a white woman? And
Like y'all said, people in this time and age, people like what they like. I mean, I don't know. Every one of my women been black
If I'm
as
walking down the
tar.
street and I see a black man with a
there you
white
go.
woman, there's a weakness in him.
Ooh.
Something in him is weak.
What? Okay.
When I see a black woman with a white man, despite all the historical context that we know that sits behind that, I think, oh, she must have got just she's tired. Like she must have got so fed up that she's getting to rest now.
You can't make this shit up, people.
Stop the cap. That's her take on it. That's her take on it. When she see a black man with a white woman, he has some kind of weakness.
I don't get it. I don't get that. Yeah,
People just like to talk when they get a microphone in front of them. You know what I mean?
And
she probably one of those women who her man went with a white woman because whatever he seen in that white woman, he didn't see in his sister. So whichever way you go, it is what it is. Back in my days, they used to say if you can't pass the brown paper bag test, we couldn't fuck with them. Brown paper bag, like the brown paper sack. If a woman was like that color skin, or they was against light skin. You know what I'm saying? Light skin just wasn't in. But this is a
but that's
new.
that Willie Lynch shit.
Yeah, well, what I'm saying, this is a whole new era. Shit have changed. People like who they like. It is what it is. I don't care who somebody else like. I don't have to go to bed with them.
Josh said, I've never been with a white girl, but I feel people should be able to like who they like.
Right.
Yeah, I agree. Jay-Z is trending because the judge has demanded Jay-Z to respond to alleged son Ramir paternity suit by July 18th. Dude kind of look like him.
He do. They've been saying that for years.
Dude kind of look like him.
But who keep pressing the issue? The son or the?
Oh, I have no idea.
The thing about it, if there's an
He
issue,
don't want nothing from them. He just want them to acknowledge that their family. Allegedly, that was about 20 years.
So I mean, if it's a question,
I want some money, nigga.
Right.
I'm going through all this. I want some money.
And even if you don't want no money, why would Jay-Z have a problem with giving a DNA test to prove whether it is his or not?
Because the mom was a minor and Jay-Z was an adult.
Oh, for real?
Mm-hmm. That's what I read.
Damn.
So was Aaliyah.
She passed away. She gone now.
Oh, damn.
Yeah. So was Aaliyah. So was Beyonce. She was a youngster when he got with her. So I mean,
she wasn't a minor.
19.
That's not a minor, man. Come on now. Y'all gotta stop doing that. Y'all do the same thing with Trump. Y'all gotta stop doing that.
I'm just saying.
Stick to the facts and stick to the law. Just because you feel like she was young at 19 or whatever, she's not a minor. Aaliyah was a minor. You're right about that.
What I'm saying though is, his propensity to go after younger women. If that's a question of the paternity, why not prove whether you are or whether you ain't?
Yeah, it ain't that easy, man, when you're a billionaire, bro. Because then you're going to have 100,000 more niggas coming talking about they your son.
Absolutely.
You're going to have 100,000 more niggas talking about they your son. You got to put yourself, see, it's going to be hard, but you got to put yourself in a billionaire's shoes. Right. A nigga like Jay-Z.
But first of all, you got to put
your... He also had a lady, some chick talking about that was her dad. So now you're going to be in court every month taking paternity tests just to satisfy people coming out the woodworks talking about you they dad.
Lawyer fees, traveling.
Well, first and foremost, you got to be a good dad. If that's your kid, step the fuck up. That's all I'm saying. Don't run because you got some money. Fuck. You had some money when you was poking that thing.
What if he don't? What if he didn't know he had a child by this woman?
But he know that he was poking her. That's all I'm
He
saying.
never
It's easy to
acknowledged
say,
it.
bro.
Jay-Z
It's
never
easy.
said
It's
nothing
easy
about
to
it.
say, bro. It's easy to say. One thing about it, they the court mandated that he got to take a paternity test, so he's gonna have to take one.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
Yeah.
Jalen Green agent leaked text messages that what's their coach name? Ime Udoka.
Yeah.
He's been messaging Jalen Green's girlfriend, Drea Michelle, which caused the issue between the two.
Coach is a dirtbag.
Now Udoka is the same dude that came from the Boston Celtics.
Married to Nia Long.
Married to Nia Long.
But was
having
sex
sexual
with
relationships with staff members up there. So
that's
now
why he lost that job.
They need to get him out the NBA, man. Fuck that. I was with him with the Boston Celtics shit. I'm like, yo, they need to mind their business. But
Right.
now you hearing, you text messaging. First of all, how he got Dre and Michelle number?
I think it was IG.
Okay. They did say messaging.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't say text messaging. So you messaging a dude, girl, baby mother that you coach?
Right.
Man, get him out the NBA, bro. Get him out. Get him out the way.
He didn't even take the job seriously.
You out of pocket, bro.
For a lot of us, a coach was a father figure.
Jalen really should have punched him in his shit.
That's a fact.
Like Matt Barnes did. Word up. Like Matt Barnes did. That's grimy.
Yeah.
I ain't feeling that at all.
Was he messing her or was he having a relation with her?
Man, don't message.
It don't
her.
even matter.
Don't message one of your one of your players, girl on IG,
Nothing.
on anything. Don't message her. You don't have no reason to message her at all.
Ain't that the same thing with Chris Webber them? Chris Webber them going through?
No, that's worse. Chris Webber actually had the baby by the chick.
It's Chris Webber's baby.
Right.
That nigga, that's dirt shit, you know.
Yeah, he a scumbag for that.
I mean, you know.
And everybody knew except for
you can also say that the other dude's wife was just as grimy because
Absolutely.
I mean, you know, both of them was
She get all the blame. What you mean? You can also say she get the blame before Chris Webber.
Right.
Yeah, she get the blame before Chris Webber.
Both of them get equal blame because
no equal blame, nigga. That's her wife. You was a wife. You married and you got pregnant by this nigga teammate. Get out of here.
Okay, but
Niggas,
if
them
you
niggas he might not even have like Doug Christie. They just play basketball together. Scottie Pippen and Michael Jordan didn't hang out together.
Never.
But Chris Webber and that dude, they used to be at each other's house. Remember the little girl
that was after the fact. You don't know what they was. You don't know what their relationship was before then. You don't know what their relationship was.
He was always at their house
together. Nothing.
Right.
He was always
not making
at
an excuse for him. He wrong though. He's wrong. He's dead wrong. But you saying equal ownership, they equally at fault. Nah, man, that woman, it's 80-20, nigga.
Yeah. No, 80-20.
She ain't got no business and she ain't got no business putting herself in a situation to even be around one of his teammates, let alone have a baby by the nigga.
Right.
What you mean?
And him as your partner, or even if he ain't your partner, your teammates, whatever, working toward a certain goal.
That shit don't mean nothing, bro.
Yeah,
it do. Nothing. There's plenty of teammates that don't like each other.
I like Jalen Green too. I was looking at him side eyes when he got with the broad. She a fine lady, but he was like 19. She was already 37. She done been with everybody you could think of. Like, bro,
them niggas be looking up to them bros, man.
Find you somebody.
Them niggas be looking up to them bros and get that contract, and now they can get them bros that they've been looking up to.
Bro,
I don't know. It ain't just him. It's a couple of them.
Right. Get what you.
It's a couple of them.
I understand what you're saying. Get what you gonna get and get the hell on. You ain't got to get in no damn relationship with her. That's embarrassing, bro. You done been with the whole NBA, half the entertainment industry, NFL niggas. Like, man, hell no.
Yeah. And they clowning too.
Yeah.
Gilbert Arenas and them niggas clowning.
That's like a motherfucker marrying Superhead.
They did.
The nigga did marry Superhead.
Oh, Lord.
Right now.
The white dude married Superhead, right? The
Wow.
white dude on the show married Superhead first.
So Jason, I didn't even remember that, Jay. They traded Jalen Green.
Yeah, that's why I guess that's what happened with the trade. So Jalen Green got traded for Kevin Durant, right? Jalen Green and a couple other people. That's why they saying them dudes they wasn't seeing eye to eye.
Coach on some so they chose Coach over the young star.
Yeah, they traded some for Kevin Durant. What else we got in the chat? So what's going on in the chat?
Miss Williams was replying to Kurt, just because he was poking her doesn't mean that's his baby. What they say, mama's baby, daddy's maybe.
That's a fact too.
That's true. That's why DNA testing is the best thing going. Prove that you ain't the baby daddy.
Bro, I'm not doing that, bro.
He got to the 18th. He got to July 18th.
They're gonna push it back. He got high priced lawyers. He'll get what they call an injunction or something. This ain't the first time they done brought him to court. He ain't show up now time. But Jay said these dudes out here are different. They don't have no honor. Referring to the coach situation.
Yeah. Hey, would you ever give your homeboy flowers? Like how people be like, go ahead, what Daru said.
Wu said black men have a responsibility to the black woman. Only dealing with white women is weak. Black men who date only white women are usually not strong enough to handle or have earned that respect.
So Dawu agrees with that with the lady. Dawu agrees. Would you give your homeboy flowers? Like literally flowers, like to show him appreciation or something? Like hand him a bouquet of flowers? You know how they say, yo, give them their flowers while they still alive, while they still living?
Like a literal flowers out the ground? Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Bro, you ain't getting no flowers from me, BJ. I love you to death, bro.
What about you, Kurt?
Me either. I'm not gonna. I'll buy you a plant, like a plant that you could put in your house. Because I know some.
No. Bank said hell no.
I know some people that like plants.
Flowers better.
Better be some gas.
Better be some gas.
Yeah, give me a pound of them flowers. I'll work with that.
No, that's those metrosexuals. Cross said he'll take a plant.
Yeah, a plant, like one of them rubber plants or the big plants that grow and they put over their windows and shit. I used to have some plants, but shit, I ain't got no green thumb. Them motherfuckers was dead in a month.
I don't know, bro. That's a bit much for me. When I give BJ his flowers all the time, but I do it by like if I see nephew out in the community, his dad ain't nowhere around. I let nephew know as long as I'm around, he good. Just as like if his dad was here. If I see his old lady, his mom, his baby mom, I let them know I'm around, and that's bro. And whatever protection he gonna provide, if he was here, they gonna get the same from me.
Okay, I agree with that.
Flowers.
Yeah,
straight up.
I agree with that too.
Yeah, I ain't doing the flowers. I ain't.
Anybody want to send Good Dad Bad Set some flowers? Just cash app us. We'll figure it out. I
didn't even send my grandmother no flowers. I sent her some edibles. I sent her some fruit in a flower shape.
Right.
And a plant. I sent her a plant though. I did send a plant. I sent a plant and some fruit.
Well, what about a flower with $100 bills as the bud?
Yeah, that's
flowers die.
That's a fact.
I said flowers with $100 bills.
Yeah, that's the trend now.
All right.
I seen that at a graduation.
That'd be about 20 grand in $100 bills.
All right. Yo, what about we get into I was trying to wait on all of them, but what y'all think about that beautiful bill, man? Trump and the beautiful bill. What y'all think about the beautiful bill, y'all? The beautiful bill has been passed.
Show me in the chat what y'all think about this big beautiful bill.
Oh, my bad.
Give me a 100 or a thumbs down.
Big beautiful bill.
Let's give them 2 thumbs down. That ain't beautiful. Ain't shit beautiful about that.
All right, well, Kurt, talk about it.
Because to pass it, they cutting, like I told you, when we first started the chat, they cutting Medicaid. They cutting out the benefits for old people and sick people, and they taking it, and they codified that tax break that billionaires get. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you may give the average person 1,200. What's 1,200 to 12 billion? You know, it just it's a lot wrong with that bill. Even some of the Republicans are saying they just swallowed the pill. They just okay, we did this just
Ain't
to show
nobody.
that.
Did you actually see what the bill like? What's in the bill? Like what it
Yeah,
does?
there are some good things in the bill. Don't get me
Because you
wrong,
just said it's a lot wrong with the bill.
but I said there are some good things with the bill. There's a lot wrong with it.
Like
Be-
what?
be- because of how they had to pass it. You know, they had to do the markup or whatever it is. And if you look at the markup on the bill, see, all we hear is that it's a big, beautiful bill. What we don't look at is how they paying for that bill. It's going to add over $3 trillion to the deficit, something they said that they against. Is fiscally irresponsible because you taking it from people that are old. You taking it from everybody but Elon Musk, Donald Trump, and all of them billionaires that already got
That
money.
ain't true. That ain't true at all, Kurt.
Oh Lord, you gonna tell me I'm getting called for Medicaid right now?
They cutting your
They,
Medicaid.
yeah,
They cutting it off.
they ain't cutting it off. They cutting down the benefits that I can get from it. Just like I told you about 3 weeks ago, the inhaler that I used to can get off of Medicaid because I got COPD from smoking. Don't say nothing, Will. I can see
Not
it
a
in your
Hold on,
eyes.
word.
hold on, hold
Not
on,
a
hold on,
word.
hold on. Let them
Wait,
finish, Will. Let
listen.
them finish. What? They cutting your inhaler because of what? Nigga, stop
They
smoking.
no, they
Problem
not cut,
solved.
but that still ain't gonna take away my COPD if I stop smoking. What I'm
So are you
saying
saying
though,
they cutting your Medicaid? What are you saying?
they cutting the benefits that you're allowed to receive. Like now, the inhaler costs me $500 for one inhaler. I have to pay that out of pocket.
All right, so let me see. The
You
bill is
know,
good. Dr. J. Kelly said the bill is good. Josh said the bill ain't all bad. Kurt, you can't focus on the negative.
why
Word up.
come the negative is what
MGA
affects
Trucking
me?
LLC is laughing. Hey, listen, man. I don't know, Kurt. I don't think you really uh, uh, did any research on the bill. I think you just talking. Nadia,
No,
what you think about the big beautiful bill, Nadia?
That's a big, busted ass bill that needs to
You
go.
low.
Damn, you low as hell, man.
Turn your phone
You
up.
ain't got no earplugs?
Can you hear me now?
A little bit. You ain't got no earplugs?
Hello? Let
That's
me do it.
better.
All right. Now I was gonna say the bill is whack as fuck, and I hope they take it down. I hope something happens because that bill is atrocious, even for college students.
Where you at with some bricks behind you?
West Virginia
Brooklyn.
State.
Where you at, college?
Yeah, I'm at a HBCU for the weekend or the week.
Oh, poor you. Poor
I
you.
love black people.
It sucks to be you right now. You stuck at an HBCU.
I love this.
What school you at?
I think it's West Virginia State.
You said Booker T?
West Virginia State.
West Virginia State.
Oh, West Virginia State. Josh, you know where West Virginia State is? You in Josh neck of the woods.
Yeah, I like it. It's real peaceful and quiet.
It look peaceful and quiet though.
Everybody at home barbecuing.
It's bricked up. It's bricked
Yeah.
up too.
Just don't make sure you don't go up in the mountains where the eyes have heels. I mean, the hills have eyes.
Yeah, I'm gonna stay right here. I'm gonna
Josh said
stay
yes,
right here.
sir.
Yeah, Josh know where that joint at. You ready, Will?
Yeah.
Let's take a deep dive into this beautiful big bill right quick, man. Just the basics, man. Cause Kurt talking about
No, you can't go into the basics. You got to go into the underlying. How do they
hold on.
pay
We gonna
for it?
listen to this right quick.
He went to
For
Fox News.
you, our Brendan Kirby had a hefty reading assignment and breaks it down.
There are a lot of provisions in the new budget bill that apply to businesses, but we thought that we'd focus on the taxes and benefits that apply to individuals and families. We should start with personal income tax rates. Congress cut them during President Donald Trump's first term, but they were scheduled to revert back to the previous levels. With this act, They will remain lower across the board. Here's some other things that some of you have commented on.
How damaging this bill will be to their quality of life.
Critics of the budget bill signed into law Friday cite a multitude of objections. Here are some of them and what the text of the law says.
A lot of people are going to lose Medicaid funding with this bill.
It's Kurt.
That's the federal health program for the poor. Democrats claim almost 12 million people will lose health care. The bill doesn't change the income eligibility requirements. Instead, it imposes new requirements that critics say some people have difficulty complying with. It requires able-bodied recipients to work, attend school, or volunteer 80 hours a month. But critics say it's hard to know where to draw the line on who is disabled enough to be exempt from the work requirement. The bill also requires states to check for eligibility every 6 months to prevent people from double enrolling in more than one state's Medicaid program and remove illegal immigrants or others who don't qualify. It also makes changes to the Affordable Care Act that reduce federal funds to states that choose to cover immigrants who may not qualify under federal rules.
He's taken away so much from people. He's taken away food.
That's Kurt.
That's a reference to the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, commonly called food stamps. As with Medicaid, the law doesn't change eligibility, but includes work requirements for able-bodied recipients and extends those work requirements from the current cutoff age of 54 to 64. It exempts pregnant women and parents with children younger than 14. It also limits eligibility to citizens and legal immigrants in most cases, and it shifts some of the costs to the states.
The tax cuts that they have made for folks who make an awful lot of money, those tax cuts are permanent. Those are the ones that should be temporary. Let those folks who work in a service industry that most of us would not want to, let them benefit from the tax cuts because they need them.
That's a reference to the much talked about provision reducing taxes on tips. And indeed, those are set to expire in 2028.
No taxes.
That's also the case with two other changes. Let's look at all three. No tax on tips. Taxpayers can deduct up to $25,000 in tips on their tax returns. This starts phasing out on incomes greater than $150,000 for individuals and $300,000 for couples. There are provisions designed to prevent regular income from being reclassified as tips. No tax on overtime. Taxpayers will be able to deduct overtime income up to a $12,500 limit, $25,000 for couples. This also phases out for wealthier taxpayers. Trump accounts. This will be a savings program for all babies born in the United States during Trump's second term. The government will make a one-time $1,000 contribution, and families can contribute up to $5,000 a year. The money can't be used until the child turns 18. There are other adjustments to the existing tax code that will affect millions of Americans.
We could just stick with those. We could just stick with those. I don't see nothing wrong with that. Chat, help me out, y'all. I don't see anything wrong with it.
That's crazy. That motherfucker is. I promise you, I'm starting to think that you are artificial intelligence or something.
What's wrong with that, Kurt?
Wait a minute. They say you get a one-time $1,000. When my kids were growing up, I go through $1,000 in Pampers in a month.
Did you get $1,000 when you was growing up?
Hell no.
Okay, so you're complaining about something you never got about to somebody that's about to give you $1,000. But not you. You never. He's complaining about never getting something that this bill is offering to give. That's crazy.
You giving $1,000. You giving $1,000 to a child's life. How far do $1,000 go for one child?
The point is they don't have to give. No, they never gave y'all $1,000 before.
The point
they
is
don't have to give you $1,000 now.
He's giving you $1,000 for every child that's born. But he gave himself how much?
Man,
about 100 billion. Come on, stop it.
He hasn't had a kid. He's not having children.
No, but I'm talking about in the tax cut. The tax cut that they talking about, that with the tax cut you get $1,000.
Just worry about what affects you. You pocket watching him. That's the problem.
I'm affect
Y'all
because what
stop.
he
Y'all gotta stop
because he
pocket watching these people that been
because
ahead of y'all for 200 years.
wait a
Stop
minute.
pocket watching them.
It ain't got nothing to do with pocket watching. If I'm pocket watching anybody, it's me because now I got to come out of pocket to pay more for my insurance. And I worked all my goddamn life. I already earned this. So he want to take it and take the money out of there so he can have a tax break for life? The fuck out of here.
I don't know where you going with. I don't even know where you got that information from.
Their tax cuts they made, they just said they made their tax, the tax is permanent. That shit is permanent for the upper class, but it's only temporary for people that's getting $1,000. And they can't spend it until the child is 18.
You saying you keep talking about the $1,000. You went from you having to pay more in health insurance to the $1,000.
Because all of that is in the tax bill. You know, it just ain't just
I
that
know
that's
it's
in
in
the
the
tax.
bill, but you act like you gotta pay. You act like that $1,000 is coming out of your check somehow.
No, it's coming out of everybody that have paid taxes their
No,
life. Man, where you think they
and
getting the money from?
you not paying more taxes for that $1,000. It's
Wait,
the same tax money that they're doing. It is what it is. You got to pay taxes.
what it,
Matter of
what
fact,
it,
you get Social Security, right? You're not even working. You get
where,
Social Security. Social
yeah.
Security not even being taxed.
Wait a minute. My thing is this because it's already been taxed. I paid for that over the last 55 years. Nigga, what is you talking about?
Is it being taxed now?
Well, how can you can't double tax shit?
I guess. Okay. I don't know. You just want to complain about the
Oh
shit. Go ahead and
no, what
complain.
I'm saying, no, see you talking from what you heard from Elon Musk or Fox
No, I'm
News.
not. How you gonna tell me what I'm talking from? Stop
Because
saying that.
that
Stop doing
wait,
that. Stop doing that. I
because
looked into the bill. What I'm
okay,
trying to ask you what your problem
you
is, and
put
you all over the place.
what you put up there is some talking points that some white Republicans have stuck out there. Oh, they giving you this. They tell you what they give
All
you.
right, let
They just
Nadia get in, bro, because
they ain't never told you not once what they took out of it. See, they gonna tell you how beautiful it is from one point,
they not
but
even
they not.
choosing side. They not Kurt. You getting emotional. We talked about this last
Stop.
weekend.
I ain't shit emotional.
You too emotional about this. They
See,
not. You
there you
don't know who
go.
them people are. You don't
There
know
you
if they
go with that.
Republicans or what. It ain't
There you
about white
go.
and black.
See, you not
They're
Donald
getting the
Trump. You
point.
can't insult me. No, I'm not emotional. You are because you're sitting there trying to defend that garbage and shit.
Okay,
That
let me get the
bullshit.
Nadia. Let me get the Nadia. I got your point. Go ahead, Nadia.
Well, obviously, I agree with Kurt. But I think it's just that it benefits people who are in a certain tax bracket opposed to others. And anybody who's underneath the 25 percentile of the highest earners in America is getting shitted on by most of the things that are in these policies. I think one good thing that I heard was the not taxing on tips. I think that benefits the
What
lower
about
income
overtime?
people. And overtime too. Yeah, I would say that's the one thing in the bill that I could say actually might benefit citizens who aren't making a ton of money and who are lower income. But outside of that, I think everything else is bullshit. I think permanent tax cuts for the already wealthy is bullshit because you guys, what you have to realize, like just in math, your 1% if you're earning $1 million and my 1% is two different things. They're not going to equate the same thing. And ultimately we see that there's a lot of maneuvers for people who are wealthy to get out of paying a certain amount of taxes that they would have had to
Like what? I
traditionally.
didn't see that. Which part?
Okay, it didn't say it. It obviously didn't say it in the news, but I'm just saying from my own education, like you can try and get out of certain things that you have to pay for, and you have certain people who help you file taxes, so therefore you're not paying the true amount you would have necessarily paid before if you were doing it on your own. My point in saying though is that it's a lot of, I guess, leeway for people who are wealthy and earning a certain amount of money in America, but for those who are lower middle class and lower than that, it's really getting fucked on. And also too, I want to say I agree to your point about the whole thing of like being granted $1,000 when you're having a kid. However, we know that having kids it's a lot more money that goes into it than just $1,000. So it sounds great, but I think they're only trying to incentivize it because white women and specifically other minorities, but specifically white people are not having kids the way that they used to have it before. And they want
I'm
more
not
people
mad.
back.
I'm not mad at that. That's way less emotional than Kurt. Kurt was going on a
There
rant.
you
I
go with
wasn't
that.
even
See,
answering my questions and
he
shit.
always wanna
I
try to
could deal. I could deal with your
no.
logic, Nadia.
Be,
You come with logic, Kurt. You just be on a rant. I can't even get you to
no,
stay on
no,
topic.
because you so far up Trump's ass. Everything he
Here we
say
go
is
again.
good.
There's no logic in that.
What I'm
There's no
saying,
logic in that.
okay,
That's emotion. That's the
Let
emotional
me say
rant.
this. Okay, they pass a big
That's the emotional
bum.
rant.
They pass a big bum ass bill, right? How did they pay for it? You said you researched it. How did they pay for it?
I don't.
You know, you
All
can't
right, but
pass a law.
listen. I went through this last Sunday. I won't do it again. That's for sure.
The last Sunday you went
I will
through it.
not go through that again. Yo, all right, if y'all, I didn't see nothing wrong with those basic points of what people's talking about. That people, you got people saying they're gonna cut Medicaid and all this. Medicaid is not being cut. You got people saying, yo, they cutting the food. Food stamps is not being cut. That's what I'm looking at. I'm looking at these people, these delusional people, saying these things are being taken away from this when this bill being passed, and none of that is happening. So where are these people like Kurt getting their information from?
Well, so
Or you
I
get
think
Medicaid, or you get Medicaid.
No,
So how would you know whether it's being taken?
because my kids are.
I will say
They
this.
get no, they your kids get Medicare. It's a difference.
Same shit.
No, it ain't.
Okay, so what's the difference?
The difference is Medicaid. You can't receive Medicaid until after you turn 65.
Where's Medicaid and Medicare coming from?
Medicaid is coming out of the taxpayers' pockets.
Where
We
Medicaid
pay
coming from?
out of the taxpayers' pocket
All right, so what's the difference, bro?
because Medicaid
You talking
is
about because of the age? All right, whatever.
yeah. Well,
Okay, no, of course I don't. Why would you ask me that? I'm only 44 years old. Why would you ask
okay.
me if I get Medicaid then?
So then you can't say where the money is taken from if you don't know. You said that it ain't taking it from Medicare, okay, or Medicare. They taking it from the
I
medical
never said
system.
nothing like that. You asked me where they taking the money from. I said I don't even care. I don't know. I'm talking about the bill. I'm strictly focused on the bill. You focused on everybody else's money.
I'm focused.
Everybody
Okay,
else. I'm
okay.
focused on the bill and how it
Listen.
affects me.
This,
Everything they pass, I'm focused on how
oh,
it
oh,
affects me and
okay.
my family. That's it. I don't give a damn about Trump and them niggas making 100 billion. Just like when I was in the streets, I didn't give a damn about the next nigga moving 5 bricks a day or whatever the fuck they was doing. I don't
Okay.
care. All I care
Okay.
about is what I'm doing. So I
Now
don't want to
you.
talk to nobody that care about what these people doing. I want to stay
Okay.
on the bill. I want to stay on the facts because we got people
Okay.
saying they
The
cutting
fact.
food stamps. We got
The
people
fact.
saying they cutting Medicaid. We got people saying they're
Come
cutting these
on
things
now.
and they're not.
You sound more
That's the
emotional than I,
problem.
because you speak your mind. You don't call that emotional, but you call what I say emotional. No, you're not speaking facts because you can't talk about a car without talking about how you gonna pay for that car. You can't talk about this big beautiful bill unless you have the facts on how they gonna pay for this big beautiful
So how
bill
they
that they
pay for it,
pass.
Kurt? Tell me
They
how they
pay
pay for it.
for it by taking it from other different organizations. Like they say, they
Like
found
what?
all. Okay, they say they found all this fraud in the government,
They say
right?
who's they?
Elon Musk and Doge.
Okay, so where they getting the money from to pay for Medicaid and all that? Because you know everything.
They cutting Medicaid. You get it from the taxpayers. Taxpayers pay for that.
Well,
Okay.
well, see, that's what I was trying to say. I think when you hear cut Medicaid or you hear cutting off food stamps, snaps, it's like this whole thing of it's just gone, and that's not the entire truth. Republicans are not. I think if they could, they would cut it, right? But because they can't completely get rid of the programs, they are giving less money or there's less opportunity to get the money you need through these programs that you used to be able to get, and that's what they mean by cut. Not that it's just gone, but that you being able to
You
get the support that you had before is not there.
I can't. We can't speak on that. You don't know what they mean. When I hear people saying, because if you meant that, you just explain what you meant. When you hear people saying they're cutting my Medicaid, they're taking our food away, they're cutting the food, that's what they mean. That's what they mean. That's what they're saying. They're saying what they mean. We saying grown-ups can't explain what they mean. They don't know how to talk. Kurt just said the same thing. They cut his Medicaid.
I just said
Kurt
to
said
you,
they cut his Social Security months ago.
and what I told you, and they did, they cut it down a little bit. But what I also said is what I used to could get my inhaler for under the Medicaid program. Now I have to pay $500 something for one inhaler, whereas because the funding is not there for the Medicaid program to pay for because they took it and wherever they did with the money. See, bills are passed by cutting programs and appropriating funds. They just don't come up with this $100 billion worth of cuts without taking it from somewhere. You can't pass a bill without having to go through Congress, and they got to write up what the cost is. Like everybody have said, even on Fox, is going to create a $3 trillion deficit for this country. Whereas they the ones that's been hollering about, the deficit is at this much up under Biden. Well, they getting ready to add $3 trillion more to it. And guess who has to pay that $3 trillion to level the deficit out? Is the taxpayers. It comes out of your tax dollars. See, all you see is FICA on your check. You may not, but most people that work a job and they get a check, you got FICA, and you got those are funds that are appropriated over your lifetime for programs for when you get old and ain't working no more. But because Congress got control, they're passing a bill and they paying for it off of the people that's at the lower rung.
So your talking point now is just you're upset on how they paying for the bill that was passed. All right, bro. I don't even care about that. That wasn't even a topic. Noah, what you think about this big beautiful bill? What's up, Noah?
Hi, how you doing? To be honest, I haven't read full details about the type
I respect
of
that. I respect that 1,000.
So what I've read is just mostly the main talking points about what it's doing and what it's, and I agree with your point, as in I don't fully know what the negative impact on somebody in your age bracket would be, because I haven't seen anything that bad, again, that would affect somebody like you. But generally, my main criticisms were from the amount of debt that it puts America in, just as somebody that generally care. I don't think America should be putting $3 trillion in debt for whatever it's trying to achieve.
Which part of the bill is putting America in debt?
The bill is very expensive. It's like
$1,000 and all that.
I mean, I think every even the IRS enforcement and like the amount it's gonna take to increase the IRS enforcement and to also increase the funding for ICE too. I think all of that is costly. I'm not sure if those were the biggest things, but these are what I've seen as especially because Trump keeps talking about government efficiency and he's reducing the like things like the weather forecast. He thinks this bullshit when literally 7 people are dying, have died in Texas with no warning and all that. So he thinks government efficiency is so important that he's willing to destabilize industries like the weather forecast, which is very essential in America. But then for his bill, he doesn't seem to be that concerned about how efficient or inefficient it is, because he really hasn't justified that $3 trillion debt in any convincing way, as far as I've seen. Have you seen his justification for it? I didn't see anything.
No. I respect what you're saying. I just want to hear logic and facts, bro. I don't want to hear no rants, bro. That shit is draining. I want to hear facts, what you think logically, and keep it pushing. That's it. As far as the country being put in $1 trillion of debt, shit, we been in $1 trillion of debt. That ain't nothing new. That ain't nothing new. But I get it. That's y'all point of view. That's cool, y'all.
I will say though, most Republicans run off the idea of decreasing debt. That's their biggest thing. Is like decreasing debt, making sure people get to work, woo woo woo. But it's like this the programs that he incentivizes or the programs or the bills and stuff that he passed honestly don't really put us in any more or less debt than we already been in. In fact, sometimes they put us overhead in more debt. And so my whole thing is if you're running off making Americans' lives better, making America quote unquote better again, it should be more economically sound and stable. And that's not what it is for people who are in the middle class or lower. And a lot of things that he does is not benefiting the middle class or lower. And those are the people who really are struggling and need the extra help. So I don't really fuck with that. If you're gonna say that's what you're gonna do, then I feel like it shouldn't be hypocritical. That's all.
I did try to understand like the tax portion of it and the changes it's making to the tax code. I read like a whole like 5-page article about it like last night, and I think it's so insanely complex that I'm like concerned about me having to explain this to any business that I work for, because obviously after this bill, like every client we have that is, because it's also talking about like it changed things for foreign businesses and the way they have to do taxes now, and it also changed things for a lot of domestic businesses. But it's like I don't even know how I'm going to go about explaining anything that's different, because the tax code was already so complicated that I think the last thing it needed was for Trump to come and make everything so much more complicated. I think my understanding is that that's going to be the most expensive part of this bill. The 3 trillion number that they came from is from the implications of the changes to the tax code over the next 30 years. But I can't even say that I understand it. It's so complicated that I think it's stupid to continue. I think the only thing to be done to the tax code in America is to make it less complicated. The fact that he added all this bullshit is just crazy. That I can't help but think, like, what is the motive in making it? Like, there's so many carve-outs and exceptions and all that. Like, do you know how much this compliance burden is on a small business to even have to hire somebody to do this for them? Like, it's just, it feels like it's not really efficient, nor will it promote like successful businesses. It's just gonna make everybody kind of either spend all their money on being compliant to tax or waste all their money on tax violations and being hunted down by the IRS.
I see we got some $100 inhalers for kids.
And that's through Medicare.
It might be you might need the special kind because you're a chimney.
Is that cheap in America? $100 inhaler?
The special inhaler.
And hey, you wasn't saying that too much about it when you was supplying me with the fire stick.
I don't know nothing about supplying you. I don't know nothing about supplying you with nothing.
You forgot about that one, huh?
I know about it.
Hey, yeah.
The comment says, order your inhalers from Canada or anywhere outside of corrupt America.
Order your inhalers from Temu.
Facts.
All right. Something you've been hitting on, and then they gonna resell it. Stop it.
Hey, I'm totally sober. I haven't been sober in 28 years. I've been sober since December 23rd. I'm talking about totally no smoking, no drinking at all. I'm totally sober. This is the first time in 28 years I've been totally sober. That's crazy. I thought about that the other day.
Is it crazy?
Yeah.
Congrats on that.
New York City mayoral candidate Zoran Mondani says he doesn't identify as black, but they just found out on his college application to Columbia, he said he was African American.
Is
he exploiting Kurt? I want Kurt to answer this.
It was black, non-Hispanic.
Is he? No.
It was not
Kurt, is he exploiting affirmative action?
I ain't heard nothing about it. I can't really speak on it. I don't know what he did. Now you might have got some information.
You what he did.
Well, remember you just ran it on me about am I listening to somebody that's just telling me that? Where you get your information from?
Never mind. Go ahead, Noah.
I know.
First of
Kurt
all, he was
bullshit,
born
man.
in Uganda. He was born in Uganda, and his father is from Uganda. I find it hard to believe that he said African American, because what I saw online was that he said it was the black between brackets non-Hispanic is what I saw. I did not see African American. But if he was born in Uganda, both of his parents are immigrants. I don't see why he should be ineligible to you identify as African or Indian. His father's from Africa, his mother's from India, and he was born in Africa. I don't think affirmative action was meant to be exclusive to African Americans. So I don't have an issue with that. I think that he was part of the category that it was meant to include. What do you have to be more than born in Africa to an African father to be eligible?
But he still wouldn't be African American, right?
Yeah, I don't think. I mean, I guess you would know more than me about what African American. I thought African American is not really like first generation. I thought that's more like people whose parents are African American. But I don't know what the strict definition of African American is. Nadia, do you have an idea?
When I'm American, both of my parents are from America, and then their parents from America, so I have deep roots here. But I also don't feel offended if his parents are from Uganda. One of his parents are from Uganda, and he was born in Africa. That does technically make him African.
Nadia, you got to go back to where you was. Your audio horrible now.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, and Nadia, it's not both his parents. His
Loud
father's
and
from
clear.
Uganda and his mother's from India. Just to correct.
Okay. Oh, thank you. Okay, so to reiterate what I was saying, I think that my parents and their parents came from America. I think I look back from my own history, and I'm pretty sure we have a lot of roots from like early slavery here, right? So I consider myself African American. However, I don't really see a problem or issue if he put African American if his parents and him descended from Africa. I mean, you could argue that he should have put African opposed to African American, but to be honest, if his lineage draws back to Africa, I don't really have a problem with that.
And also, BJ, the options on these college applications for which category you're in are literally changed and don't include like 3 races. I mentioned before on the podcast that they removed Arab as a category. So when they ask me what my ethnicity is, I put
put
Asian.
white.
I put Asian, even though because I'm from the continent of Asia. Even though if I put Caucasian is European, I'm not from Europe, but I'm not Asian because Asian implies East Asian usually. So they just completely removed the Middle East and North Africa as a category. So what do you think? North Africans, most of them will put African American because that's just the category that America's willing to offer you. If you try to make somebody
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, Nora, but to answer Davon Cox's question, I mean, yeah, you have other as
See the
well.
other one I sent you with?
But to be very honest, though, like you just choose to go with what you best fit with. I don't think there's a perfect answer all the time for these tests when they try to put you in a category. So I don't really feel it's fair to get mad at people when they check things that we wouldn't necessarily want them to check.
All right,
Cause Elon Musk is from Africa, and he's from Peoria, but he's an American. He's a naturalized citizen, so he should have African American on there because he's from Africa.
Well, the point of them bringing that up was he said he doesn't identify as black, but I guess you could make the claim that African American ain't black. African ain't black, huh?
Black is not a nationality.
Black. I mean, we know that. We know that.
So I mean, that's probably how he looking at it. He don't see himself as black because black, according to science, means death, unconscious, and without light. So he's not identifying with that color. He's identifying with his ethnicity, which is African.
So what's the ethnicity of black?
BJ, black is mostly an American concept. Most people like skin color, the way not just American, but I think it's predominantly the emphasis on color, black versus white, dark skin, light skin.
What's the ethnicity of black? What's the
It's not an
nationality of
ethnicity,
black
it's
then?
color. It's a skin color. It's not an ethnicity. The ethnicity is
What is the nationality of it? What is the ethnicity of it? Instead of this person saying he's black, what should he say?
he's either African or Indian or Arab or these
Okay,
are ethnicities.
so it's understood if someone says they don't identify as black, they're also saying they don't identify as an African American then, right?
I mean, no, they're not the same. Like I don't know any BJ. I don't know any Egyptian, and Egypt is in North Africa. I don't know any Egyptian that identifies as black, no matter how black their skin is. That's not
African
the way they identify
American.
themselves.
Egypt
They
ain't in
identify
America.
as Arab or North African. That is how they describe themselves. People from other countries can't just be held to the standard of I have to identify myself the way Americans have decided to identify people. This person grew up in another country. He was in Uganda. He's a first-generation immigrant. You can't force him to identify as black or non-black if that's not a word that was used in his environment.
What should he have identified as on his college application 20-something years ago? Damn near 30 years ago.
Probably other, but there's no rule about it. Probably other, but that's you're not. It's not a sworn testimony as to what race I am. Sometimes I put Hispanic just to be annoying. Sometimes I put I don't give.
Nah, you better stop fucking lying. Because
I
that's some bullshit. Because now you stealing. Now you stealing from.
But none of them apply to me. They took away Arab. When I used to have Arab, I used to put Arab. When they removed Arab, every time I put whatever I want. I put Caucasian when I want to put Caucasian. I put whatever. They took away my definition. I don't fit into any of the others. I'm not gonna keep putting myself as other because America said I have to. If I don't fuck with your categories, I'm gonna say whatever I want to say. Either allow me to define myself or make.
So you're a DEI hire.
What?
You're a DEI lawyer.
No, I'm not, because nobody asked me to identify as anything when I became a lawyer. I had to do a 12-hour exam. That's how I became a lawyer.
Oh. Go ahead, Will.
Mayor Adams is now questioning his opponent, Zoran Mamdani's 2009 application to Columbia University. The mayor's camp accuses the Democrat of wrongly identifying himself as African American to try to gain acceptance to the Ivy League school. A hacker got hold of the application and gave it to the New York Times. It shows that Mamdani checked off the boxes for African American and Asian. Today, Adams called that dishonest and possibly fraudulent.
We will never be a socialist country or socialist city. This is a city where we will provide for each other and what we stand for.
Candidate Andrew Cuomo's campaign is also blasting Mamdani, saying if true, it could be fraud and just the tip of the iceberg. Mamdani, who is a Muslim immigrant of South Asian descent, tells The Times he checked both boxes because he was born in Uganda and the application would not allow for the complexities of his background.
I'm gonna change my stance on that. That was my first time watching that. I'm gonna change my stance on that. What you think, Will? I think he all right.
I ain't mad at him.
Yeah, I think he all right.
You got to do what you got to do to get where you're going, bro. I'm not mad at him.
And he said Asian too.
And he put Asian too, and he's from Africa, so I don't know what else they want from. See, that politics is a dirty game, bro. Politics is a dirty game. They hire people just to find anything. Any bone they can find in your closet, cause I ain't gonna lie.
Possibly fraudulent.
They just making shit that they made that they reaching now. They reaching. That's what we say. They're reaching. They need to be checking Noah's closet, cause she done check Hispanic, white and white and African American. No, they need to come over here to Noah's closet.
That is not how you even get in on DEI and affirmative action. Like, you really think that's all it takes to just tick a box? Like, that's not what they're talking about. Well, the people that get into college out of affirmative action have to do way more than just say, "Hey, I'm black." That's not how it works. It's actually, there's so many other layers. I think you have to, most of the time. I forgot how it was in the.
Josh, what happens when you check them boxes, man? Josh, no. I don't really remember. I don't know what box they ain't no tell. I might have put white. I might have checked white, man. I'm stupid. I ain't no telling what I checked. I ain't gonna lie.
It's crazy how the same people who have a problem with people claiming African American have no problem with a man identifying as a woman.
Nah, we'll be in his bag.
I'm telling you.
Exactly.
Fully loaded clip, bro.
Dawu wants smoke all the time. He ain't gonna let off. That's my man. That's a good point, Dawu. That's a good
I
point.
actually agree with his point, though. I agree with the logic of it because I think, yeah, you can. If I'm born Arab and I feel Arab and they don't let me say whatever I want, yeah, I believe nobody's gonna stop me and tell me, oh, you select that you're not that. If that's what you're asking somebody's ethnicity, like what are you gonna put everybody on 23andMe, and I'll bet you 80% of America probably doesn't even know their actual ethnic background. Like if you do a DNA test for everybody, you think that's a really accurate metric to evaluate people by what they think their ethnicity is. You think your ethnicity is what your parents told you your ethnicity is in reality.
Yeah, because where's a black nationality at? That's not an ethnicity. That's a color.
But they're not saying that though. They're not saying he should have checked black. They're saying he said he don't identify as black. He said that out of his mouth. I don't identify as black. But then they dug up his college application and he checked off African American. So that was just some stuff. That's some, like I said, it's politics, bro. It ain't that deep to even look into. Now that I've seen that,
my point was just that he also has a birth certificate that says that he was born in Uganda.
Right, which is Africa.
Affirmative action is more likely to be given to somebody based off of a legal document that proves that you were born in another country and are from that ethnicity than for you to which box you take on. Like the fact that they're using the word fraudulent as if that's like a statement or a fact. It's not. You're just selecting an answer and asking a question. But in reality, the real proof that he's from there, they have his birth certificate in the application. That's what's more likely to get you included and considered as a affirmative action.
I don't see it as fraudulent, man. I wouldn't consider that fraudulent. But it's politics. The niggas is cutthroat.
They more upset at him checking the box than the damn hacker who got the application in the first place.
They
the little thief.
Yeah.
Let me see. Trying to get a little.
Well, they did that with Obama too.
That's like BJ said. It's politics. They do it to everybody. If you don't want your background dug into, don't run.
Yeah. We was talking about customer service today. Me, Bert, and my man Adrian had went to Peachtree Cafe this morning.
Adrian?
Nah, not that.
Man.
Yo, hold on. First of all, let me say this, man.
Oh, so you be holding out, bro.
Nah. Adrian, cool. This a different Adrian though. But Adrian straight, man. Let me shout out my Plainfield, New Jersey niggas though. Shout out to Plainfield, New Jersey. Plainfield was on my heels, man. Plainfield was on my heels. You know, A is from Plainfield. You know what I'm saying? So Plainfield was on my heels, man. They like, yo, man, don't have the people thinking that's what Plainfield, that's a representative of Plainfield. we are who we are. Nah, bro. My Plainfield niggas is solid, man, for sure. So I don't want nobody getting it twisted about Plainfield, New Jersey, man.
I ain't know where it was from. I just know that he went off the rail. You know, that's it.
Yeah,
I ain't know where it was from.
That end up getting viewed by some people, man. Some
all
good
right,
people,
so you was with a different Adrian and Bert.
Yeah, I was with a different Adrian, man. And Bert. And the customer service, man, I had to give her a 4. Word, she was out of 10.
Out of 10?
We was rating the music.
Yeah.
I had to give her a 4, man. She was terrible, man.
She was slow or?
All the above. Slow and didn't give us our utensils and just, yeah, man.
Lazy or just having a bad day? Can't tell?
I couldn't tell what it was, man. She was just terrible. I wanted one of the Spanish chicks. That's the sad part. We all said it though. We like, yo, we should have. Even homeboy, the Spanish dude at Peachtree Cafe.
Yeah,
he be on point. Matter of fact, he gave us our utensils, and we wasn't even his table. He just turned around and was like, oh, y'all ain't got no utensils, huh? You know what I mean? I don't know what was up with homegirl.
Wow.
But I mean, I don't know, bro. I don't know. Yeah, we had a bad experience today with customer service. Yo, would y'all let y'all 3-year-old model?
Hell no.
3-year-old girl be a fashion model?
No, sir.
Runway
girl
model?
or boy.
Would you no?
No.
No. Would you, Will?
I don't know if I'd let my 13-year-old model.
I used to do photography for a hot second, and it's just a creepy. The whole industry just creepy. I'm absolutely not. I won't care if it was my adult daughter. I'm vetoing it.
Yo, I had a
I agree, bro.
I seen a clip of a 3-year-old, some 3-year-old that's trending is from South Africa. You know what I mean? And she's like a runway model and shit. You know, doing the whole walk and spinning and all that shit. I said, like, I looked at it. I said, there's some like pedophile shit or something. Like this, that shit was weird, man.
It's good. It's grooming.
Yeah, it was weird, dog. I felt creepy about it. I said, oh, this is a topic, man. I felt weird watching this shit. Who let their 3-year-old do this? That's weird. And she's viral. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just like that girl Lisa Bonet. I mean, what's that the white girl name that used to be
JonBenet Ramsey.
Yeah, JonBenet Ramsey. They was grooming her, then they end up killing.
Didn't they kill her or something?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who killed her? What happened with that? That was
They never
crazy.
said
Nobody
publicly
found
who did it,
out.
but they think the parents had something to do with it.
I don't think the parents had anything to do with it. I think the parents were just the parents were like they treated them
somebody money
because they were guilty of allowing her to let her 3-year-old, like she was kind of sexualized too in these modeling things. It was like really grown up modeling on like a very beautiful like 4-year-old, but it was a little weird. There was some weird things about it, but I think the parents were just accused as if like the natural corollary of that is that they're capable of murdering their own daughter or having their daughter trafficked. And I really don't think, like I watched a lot of documentaries about it. I never picked up that like possibility from the interviews with the parents and all that. I don't think they were sus at all. I think they were like, you get accused of killing your own daughter, you lose your mind. And I think eventually they did lose their minds. But
it could have been somebody that was in the industry that killed her.
Yeah, I think that's a lot more likely. That's
I can't remember it, but
that whole child, you having a adolescent, and we ain't even talking about teenager, an adolescent walking around with, skimpy clothes and lipstick. That's a step too far. That's a step too far.
That shit is still big in America. Like there's a lot of people that do that, and there's a lot of people that watch that. Like I know girls that like were pageant girls at 9, like Americans that just did that. Even in other cultures, it's common too. So I don't think it's just frowned upon enough by society for us to really feel like the parents might like have these more, the conspiracies. I think are. Like this is a socially acceptable thing. Like people watch these, people have their daughters. It's common. It's not.
It's big time.
It's everywhere.
It's
but then the second the murder happens, you act like this shit has been taboo. It's only taboo when a girl gets killed. In reality, it's like if somebody could monetize their child like that, a lot of people would. I mean, even the Disney shit is even worse. Like for people like Justin Bieber and like whoever the fuck like Diddy was, teaching, mentoring, like people, like a lot of this shit happens in Disney too, and it's like it's only acted like it's frowned upon when
Disney, Nickelodeon, yeah.
And then it would go back.
I've seen the little clip about the little girl, the little young girl that's doing that boots on the ground thing, with the fan and popping her booty.
Yeah. I don't like it neither because I don't like all that. Them little girls shaking their hips and all that, and them little shorts, and I don't like it.
Yeah.
I don't like it. I don't be with that. I ain't with that at all. I was in Bahama Breeze when Eli was like 3. It was me and Eli on Bahama Breeze, and it was a black lady and a black dude over there. They had a portfolio. They had a bunch of stuff going on the table across from us, but I saw she kept looking. I ain't saying nothing, whatever. I'm just messing with Eli with that. He like 3 years old. So then we're leaving. We happen to be leaving at the same time, and she came over there. She like, I was watching y'all the whole time. I'm with Tyler Perry Studios, and I would love to have him audition for a movie, and this, that, and the third, or whatever. I said, nah, I don't want my son in no movies, man. I don't want him in that industry at all. I ain't gonna lie, I ain't gonna waste your time, man. But she still gave me the card and the portfolio and stuff. I was like, yo, if you change your mind, call him no, because I really like to audition with him, have him audition or whatever. I was like, all right, thank you. I threw that shit away, man. Yeah. Hell no, man. Them kids come out fucked up, straight up. Especially the children that grow up in that joint. Look at all the child stars.
Right.
Orlando Brown, Raven Simone, Macaulay Culkin, the twins, the little twin girls, the Olsen twins. Man, they be coming out messed up, bro.
Yeah,
Maybe fucking wrong.
nigga.
Michael Jackson.
Keisha might be the only one from Bill Cosby, from the Cosby Show. The little Keisha.
Yeah, because I think she quit after that.
Rudy.
I think she quit after the Cosby
Rudy.
Show. Mm-hmm.
Rudy. That's probably about it, bro.
You know, Bill Cosby supposed to been hitting him with the Quaalude.
Yeah, you just say anything about black men, bro.
Hey,
you gotta
no,
stop that, man.
All I'm saying, did he get convicted of it?
Of giving who Quaalude?
All the actors. No, I didn't say Rudy. I said he was.
That's what we was talking about, man.
I'm just making a statement about his behavior in that industry. Anytime you put children in the industry with creepy motherfuckers, you think they ain't gonna do creepy shit with them?
Yeah, he was giving the white women the Quaaludes and stuff,
and some black women.
But black celebs, do y'all feel like they sell oppression to keep black people down?
Who?
Give them an excuse for their situation. Black celebrities, all black celebrities, Puffy, all of them. They all be like, vote this way or do this or do that because all right, for example, Whoopi Goldberg. This came from Whoopi Goldberg. She was just the other couple of weeks ago talking about how she remember when she was going back and forth with the Arab girl.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, she was complaining America to Iran and saying black people are still getting hung, gays are being tied to the front of a car and all this shit. Like, it's so hard for black people over here. She's really one of the main ones caping that. What y'all feel? How y'all feel about that?
Yeah, because all money ain't good money, and people selfish. They don't care about helping us stay oppressed, as long as they getting something out the deal. I think the same way about all those movies. Like it was a bunch of them came out back to back to back. The Butler, 12 Years a Slave, all that corny ass shit. We just keep reenacting the same pain over and over, and the white people benefiting from it, and they using us to do it. And we think, and we rush into the theaters to see it like it's entertaining. Like that shit is a illness, bro.
Damn. What you think, Kurt?
That's a good point. That's a good point. I can remember when my father was, coming up, he used to complain about how the media, how they advertise shit was like Big Brother watching, because subliminally they were putting in these movies that kept, I don't know what it is about these black people that are that they revel in the past, and I understand why, because if you don't look at the past, you're bound to repeat it. You know what I'm saying? You got to look at it, but not only look at it, you got to do something about it so it does not repeat itself. But this is what the media is constantly showing us. They constantly showing us these images of little girls twerking and gays, and so it's becoming almost mainstream the way the people are acting. Because I see a lot of Facebook pages, and then I go out in the streets and I see the people acting the same way that they saw on that TikTok post. And people are doing the stuff on TikTok posts just to get likes so they can monetize it. So I don't get it,
Yeah, I think Whoopi Goldberg. I call Whoopi Goldberg the Kunazar. I call Whoopi Goldberg the Kunazar because she was sitting up on that panel, and she does it all the time. But let her tell it, Trump is gonna put everybody back in slavery and all. The same rhetoric that all these people say. You know what I mean? And she was up there going hard against that chick from Iran or wherever she was from, somewhere in the Middle East, talking about how oppressed black people are. Black people are in America, but when has she been oppressed? That's what I like to know. Play this clip right here. This woman wants to sell oppression to black people and never had a black man.
Whoopi Goldberg has had many relationships. Here are all of them. She was married to Alvin Martin. She then married David Clausen from 1986 to 1988. Lyle Trachtenberg married her from 1994 to 1995. She also dated David Stein in 1996. Alan Moore in 1980. Edward Gold from 1987 to 1990. Timothy Dalton from 1990 to 1993. Ted Danson from 1992 to 1994. Jeffrey Cohen in 1995. Frank Langella from 1995 to 2001. Michael Visbal from 2001 to 2004. Shockingly, she came out in public to say that she has never been in love with any of these men.
Yeah, I don't want to hear her talk about oppression no more, man.
Can I say something without it? This might have to be muted. Ain't that being a hoe?
Don't say it. Don't say it. Don't say it, because we ain't really, you know what I mean?
I mean, they name so many people that she has been either married to or involved with that
She had a lot of marriages.
she seemed to have got a lot of bodies on that.
You know, I don't even. Is that a lot? What was that? 10?
That ain't a lot. She in her 60s.
Yeah, 10 ain't a lot for somebody in their 60s.
But they were all of a race other than her own.
Yeah. I ain't talking about the amount.
Okay,
I'm talking
let's
about
go.
the fact that she talking all this oppression shit for black people, and she can't relate to that.
Right.
She can't. And she hate Trump so much, but Trump, she was working. Trump had her at the Trump Plaza and all that shit doing comedy. She worked for Trump.
Wu said the black man never showed Whoopi no love, so that was her only damn choice.
It's somebody for everybody, man.
You would have gave Whoopi a shot, bro?
No.
Exactly.
No.
She kind of looked like Lil Wayne.
But she looked like Lil Wayne. But it's somebody for everyone, for sure.
That's true.
It's somebody for everyone.
So yeah, back to our thing.
Carmelo Anthony been indicted for second-degree murder, but they're talking about the video now, and I don't think any of us saw the video. No, you ain't see that video, right?
They didn't making it for. Did they make it public?
I don't know, but Charles
It's
right
talk of a video, but nobody has released it.
And then now they trying to say, you see, they've been talking about the GoFundMe.
Yeah,
that they spent all the GoFundMe money or something,
and they haven't even touched it.
And he don't got a lawyer.
Yeah, he got a court-appointed lawyer.
Right.
Davon, what made you mad as hell?
I just sent you a clip, Will.
Yeah, it's a lot of false, but that's what we do to each other, though. They put something out there and we make it viral.
Davon said?
Davon said it made him mad as hell, but I don't know what he's talking about.
He said, I remember
he hated Rosewood as a kid. Yeah, I hate all those movies, bro. I never watched none of them.
Yeah, Rosewood put tears in my eye when they shot Big Mama. When they shot Big Mama, I wanted to go through the TV head first, nigga. Remember when she came outside and she was like, yo, she was telling them her son didn't do it or whatever, and one of them shot the thing off and it killed her. And remember he buried himself in the casket under his mother. Y'all remember that shit? Rosewood was my movie. I watched that shit a lot. I watched Rosewood a lot, man. Rosewood and what was the other one, y'all? Rosewood and something else. Damn. But anyway, Carmelo.
You watch Roots and all that too?
I watched Roots, but I ain't finished it. You know they made so many different versions of Roots.
Of it, yeah.
But it was Rosewood and something else. Let's see what Charleston Webb got to say, man. This is another guy that's been called a coon like me because we support Trump. It's another coon, y'all.
Y'all got to stick together, huh?
2 coon Trump supporters. Damn, Cross, I see it.
I met with his father.
It looked crazy.
I've been meeting with his father regularly. And I had opportunity to talk, piece him up. He go beat these charges. I was under the impression that he brought a knife to school. So I'm taking a knife to school. Fuck him. He didn't take a knife to school. He didn't even know these two white boys. These two white boys just came over there with him because he was with another kid that knew those white boys. So he a new black kid who these big old white boys, big white boys. He a small frame kid. One of the white boys was on that side, one of the white boys on that side. So either way go, they had him blocked in. And these some big white boys. These are some big, violent, aggressive white boys who got guns. And not only that, the one he killed whooped their daddy. See, the daddy coming into the picture playing like he been around. The dad ain't been around. We would think the black dad ain't around. The white dad ain't around. The mother don't even identify the daddy as the husband. So he must have been an abusive father. He ain't even been in their life. So he just come and get in the light. He just come and get in the light. So he a low down dirty cracker. His sons are bullies. They bullying on the kid. They no, because he black. Get from up under the tent. Man, y'all tripping. I ain't going nowhere. And they got a reputation of beating up people. The one he had to stab, he broke his daddy's ligaments. Big old strong cracker. He should have killed both of them. He should have killed both them Peckerwoods with a that's minding his motherfucking business that don't bring harm to nobody. This kid ain't a bad kid. These bully white boys just fuck with the black baby. So now they trying to make it about race. No, it ain't about race. Justice was served when he killed that cracker. Self-defense. And the reason I say that is anybody can go see the video. Why do you think the media outlets ain't promoting to go see this video? You can go up to the school to see it. And if you go up to the school and see it, we all to see this kid will be found not guilty. But because it's in an all-white town in Crackerville, and they done made it about race, whoever Sarah Fields is, Sarah Fields, you a rotten motherfucker. And if I just had some time, I would put an army behind this family, but I ain't got time. It's supposed to be an army because Sarah Fields and the father and somebody who works for the court have been releasing Carmelo Anthony's family information to Sarah Fields. She's been putting it online, and the white folk been going. So they've been having to move. All those lies made up, homie, they can't even get the GoFundMe money. So they hadn't even got, they can't even touch the Go. So they just trying to smear a campaign, but that's what the cracker do. Boy, I wish I could go back to when I was saying the type of shit. Boy, I wish they could have caught me 3 years ago when I was really on my let's go get the cracker shit. But homie, homie, I wish I ain't got that spirit no more. So I'm saying, why black people ain't rallying around this family as they tried to rally around in the beginning? They are threatening this family. Homie, they keep having to move.
But how do you don't just lose the spirit, bro? It's either you got it or you don't.
No, you do lose it. You do lose it.
So you sold out?
No.
He said, so you sold out.
Everybody loses. Malcolm lost it.
Like what you told me a year ago, you said that losing touch with reality.
You lose the spirit, homie. You lose once you lose the spirit of the things you once loved. Football players, artists. Dave Chappelle lost the spirit, went to Africa, man, fuck that. You lose the spirit because you fight for a group of people that you shouldn't really be fighting for. Who want to make the sacrifice for black people?
Yeah. My boy back, man. My boy back. Who want to make the sacrifice for black people? But that's that spirit I be talking about, man. What y'all think?
You agree, BJ, that you lose the spirit? You don't think you can hold on to the spirit?
Yeah, Kurt lost his spirit a long time ago. Kurt done went and got neutered or some shit. I don't know what Kurt
You the one that lost the spirit. You the one that used to fight for our people. I ain't saying you take up not a dollar for that black kid. We all agreed that black kid shouldn't be prosecuted.
No, we agreed on that.
You know,
we definitely agreed on
that. That shit is self-defense. I don't care how you look at it. You know, I thought there was a stand your ground law when it came to something like that. Instead of him using a gun, he just used the things to clean his cleats. Man, look, I don't know.
Go ahead.
I don't know a person in America that if he's threatened by two individuals, he ain't gonna try to defend himself.
Yeah.
You know he got to go through the fire. It is what it is. That's a white town in Texas. He got to go through the fire. They not just gonna let that boy. You think they was gonna really just let him walk like that with the amount of public eyes on him?
Some celebrity got
a video right here in Georgia where this black dude it wasn't really even a jumping, but 3 different white boys swung on him. 2 of them like connected. And he shot that boy right in that Waffle House. Killed him. Dude ran outside and died. 3 white boys, 4 white boys. And the police came and looked at that video and let him go. He never even got arrested right here in Georgia. But it's nobody, you know what I mean? It's not publicized as much as this one. They can't just let him go like that. I feel like he gonna beat it when it's said and done, but they gonna drain him from that bread. They gonna terrorize him. And Charleston White, the reason why I played that, because at first Charleston White was saying lock him up. He was saying the opposite of what he's saying now, but the father had contacted Charleston and sat down with Charleston, invited him to his house, and he sat down with him. Charleston like, nah, man, I was wrong. That's what he was saying in the beginning. He was like, I was totally wrong about that kid, man. Hell no. So what was the question, Nada? You said, do I think you could lose the spirit? Yeah, I think the older you get, you lose your fire.
Yeah.
I think you lose that fire the older you get, which is normal, because battle isn't for the elders. Battle is for the young.
Yeah.
Wisdom, counsel is supposed to come from the elders. You know what I'm saying?
And the spirit is supposed to be passed down to the other
The
generation.
spirit is supposed to be passed down. Exactly. It's supposed to be, but
I agree with you on that too, BJ.
That spirit is tricky because you could pass something down and think they got it, and
they don't got it.
They ain't got it, and that devil, that demon, will creep up in them, and they'll be on a whole nother type of time, and that's how you get land stolen. You know what I'm saying? That's how America is able to come over there and do the bullshit they able to do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's actually really like noticeable in my generation of Palestinians, where most of us have become Palestinian something. I feel like just the Israel-Palestine war is such a good example of how your enemy can purposely employ war tactics that are just designed to destroy your spirit, and not just to destroy the spirit of your youth, where you see that they're really good at that. Like they recently what is it called? The Red Cross and another human rights organization recently discovered that they've been putting opioids in the aid that Palestinians receive, that makes them really drowsy, and it kind of just reduces
drugging them up,
literally like giving them opioid addiction.
Got them doped up.
Like their war and even the starvation, like the intentional starvation, is not a commonly used war thing. Like it's just you watch there's literally been pictures of like 30-year-old women that have left their infants at the door of a mosque with a letter saying, I didn't have enough food to produce breast milk for my own child. The child's best chance of surviving is to just sit here at this mosque, because somebody else might figure out how to support it. The woman just finished having a baby and can't make breast milk. So it's like just to see these and to see how it actually works. Like all of these Palestinian other countries, like the Palestinians I know that only have the Palestinian ID and basically have no real nationality. They're the ones that have the strongest spirit in their family, because they're left stateless. So they always have that thing where like they're never going to find a home somewhere else. But the Palestinian Americans that started homes in like Dearborn, Michigan and shit, and like the Palestinian Europeans, there's a lot of Palestinians in like South America too. They're kind of like the second generation becomes so far removed from it that Israel's effectively like eliminated the spirit in such a big chunk of Palestinians over the past 80 years that the fight now seems like at its most futile. And they did it in like less than 100 years. Which is kind of impressive to destroy the spirit that harshly.
Yeah, that was fast.
It's
when
kind
you think about it, yeah, less than 100 years is fast.
And it's like
so isn't that what they did to the blacks in this country?
No, that's what they do. That's
Yeah.
what everybody gets it. It's not just one, one race,
it's not
one nationality. Everybody gets it. You know,
but
they did that to us.
Because once they dropped that cocaine, that heroin and that cocaine down in like black communities, it destroyed them. I see right now, the children of those dope things that came out of the crack epidemic, and they fucked up. Their whole set of principles are fucked up. You know, and I don't know the answer to it, but once you drop that kind of opioid in the community and that amount, tons and tons and tons over the next 20 years, that spirit that they once had ain't gonna be the same.
Yeah, but
They
the
drug
spirit of the black person been gone. That's what I've been talking
right,
about for the past few
right.
months. The spirit been gone. The spirit been gone. This is what I've been saying on the podcast. A different spirit. When y'all asked me when I said Obama wasn't really black, I said I'm looking at his spirit. I ain't looking at it, the color of his skin and what he's saying out his mouth. He don't got that spirit. You know what I mean? That's what I'm looking at. Oprah and them, they don't have that spirit, bro. The spirit been broken. I think their spirit is gone because they're sitting with the regime that they're sitting with. They're with those people, or they're billionaires or whatever, and they're still with those people. So it is what it is. It ain't. Spirit is gone. Spirit is out the equation with Oprah and Jay-Z and them. It's gone. But when I say the old blacks, 1940s and down, they had a different spirit, dog. They had a different spirit coming out of slavery and building Black Wall Street, 600 businesses and 20 hotels, and that's a different spirit, bro. That slavery, that's them blacks coming out of slavery. That's just a different spirit. We don't have that spirit no more. You know what I mean? That spirit was lost. Go ahead, Noah.
But I think that's the unique thing about the African American experience compared to the other Palestinian crisis that I bring up is for African Americans, like that generation of millionaires that you talk about, like Oprah and such. I feel like when you dance with the devil for too long, it's very hard for you to maintain that spirit. I don't think it comes from the abandonment of that spirit, just comes from the fact that as you make more money and as you progress in America, America tries to make it very clear that your success is interdependent with your support of certain things. And especially with like the higher you go up, I feel like, and you spend that much time catering and doing this. And there's certain, like we're talking billionaire level wealth too. It's like, I wonder what Oprah had, you know.
I don't even want that. I don't want that much money. I don't want to be a billionaire.
That much money.
I'm
and
cool.
Also, I think it would be
cool with 10 million.
Yeah, 10 million is a good place to stop.
I'm cool with 10 million. I don't want to be a billionaire. I don't want $500 million. I don't want 500 million. I'm cool at 10, 20 million. I'm cool. Let me just keep rotating that. Give me some land, get these little businesses, and we could keep that afloat. I'm cool.
You still gonna have some responsibility to the whole race?
No, because they won't even know I have 10, 20 million. They won't even know.
I mean,
80% of my family not even gonna know.
Has nobody offered to pay Carmelo's legal fees yet? Has no black billionaire or millionaire offered?
They're not gonna touch that. They're not gonna touch that.
They need to bring Johnny Cochran back from the grave for this. Like this is.
They're not gonna touch. They're not gonna touch that. They're not gonna touch that at all.
That's exactly that's the worst symptom of the death of the spirit. The fact that people aren't I think when it comes to Jay-Z, Oprah type billionaires, I think there should be pressure from black people to be like, if I'm not gonna
say nothing about them,
if you're never gonna do anything.
I got attacked. No, what are you talking about? When I said Oprah should at least put a laundromat in the hood, Kurt attacked me. Y'all forgot? We all sitting right here. What the fuck she gonna put a laundromat in the hood for? She ain't trying to wash no clothes. Nigga, what?
Do anything. It doesn't.
Wait, BJ, stop that. The same thing.
That's what you said.
Wait, the same thing we asked Will why he don't do this or that and another. He said, that ain't my calling.
He threw Will in it. He threw Will under the bus.
What did they ask?
For real. But for real, you can't touch Obama. You can't touch Oprah. You can't touch Jay-Z. You can't touch them. You know what I'm saying? And I believe that those people have something on them. They better shut up. I believe Jay-Z is at a point. It sneakily look like they're working on Jay-Z now.
No, we're working on Jay-Z.
Cause the girl,
they ain't gonna stop to that man.
Look, that girl came out and said Jay-Z raped her and all that, but I knew that was some bullshit.
Right.
Jay-Z, but now they got the paternity suit thing. You know what I'm saying?
That's been over his head.
So it look like they just poking at him right now. Like, don't play. You know what I mean? Oprah been in the game too long. She been a billionaire too long. She been Weinstein, Epstein, Trump, in every circle. She is there. She don't have no children. She's a witch. She been a witch. She's a witch. Kamala's a witch. They're witches. I'm telling you. We talk about spirit. She is a witch. For real. And they're demons. All of them.
Jay-Z
But I'll play that.
already took
I want to
his
play one
first
more
L.
clip by Charleston, man. This my guy, man. Me and him coons together. We both coons.
Oh shit.
This is my guy, man.
Jay-Z already took his first L against that white lawyer too that sued him, Buzzbeat, whatever the hell his name
Oh
was.
they supposed to. But he been quiet too lately.
No, he replied to Jay-Z saying he was gonna sue him back for frivolous litigation or some shit.
Playing games now.
Shout out to Dr. Umar Johnson. Dr. Umar Johnson spoke with the father and gave them comfort. Shout out to Dr. Umar. I spoke with the dad today. His dad want me to come see the video. I gotta go see it. They don't want you to. So the father and this Sarah Fields white lady, they some racist peckerwoods. These the kind of peckerwoods I say this would make me feel good by standing over a white man and watching him die. See, I got something nobody has what it feel like to watch a white man die. That's in my heart and that's in my mind. Whenever I get mad at white people, nigga, I go in that heart and that mind and I pull my victim's face up when he was dying and how we laughed at that white man. We thought it was funny. I felt like we've done some good. We killed the white man. All that felt good, man. When you don't know no better. When you don't know no better. As you get older, you start to develop your mind and your heart starts to change. You start having remorse. And boy, that face starts to be a nightmare when you see it. When you get mad, it don't. And when white people make me mad, that's my comfort. They can put me in jail and they comfort myself with the fact I know what a white boy look like to die. So that as Sarah Field and that Carmelo Anthony father, he should have killed both your sons.
Damn.
He should have stabbed that other motherfucker too, but he ain't no killer. He ain't got that in him. He did it out of fear.
Yeah, that's a big thing on social media. This is gonna be as big as I'm probably
the OJ trial.
Yeah, Zimmerman.
Let's go to war.
Yeah, man. You should have killed both your sons. Yo, only Charleston White could get away with that though.
Yeah.
Talking like that on YouTube, bro. And that's a monetized channel. That's a channel that got 2 million, 3 million followers, bro.
Yeah.
Only Charleston White get away with that shit. Charleston White. Yo, even them people be like, leave him alone. Just let him say what he gonna say, man. But
because he wasn't vibing that well when he wasn't as controversial.
What you mean?
You know, like when he first was started on that YouTube channel, he wasn't so controversial in how he speak. You know what I'm saying? He didn't start getting all of those likes and whatever it is that it takes to monetize until he got real controversial, saying like, you know, fuck these kids and I don't care. You know, once he started getting real controversial, that's when people start looking at him, because people like motherfuckers that's into static. They love it. They love to see motherfuckers talking crazy, reckless.
That's a fact.
You know, that's just how the media goes now. They love violence. They don't want to hear you talking about, let's pull together and be peaceful and we work as a community. They love seeing us out there in the streets hitting each other in the head.
This is the last joint, because then we gonna head out, because me and Will gotta get up early, but Will got a motherfucking drive way to Athens. But I remember when President Trump pardoned and commuted, well, he pardoned NBA Youngboy and all that, but he commuted Larry Hoover. Mm-hmm. All the black people was saying that he was a con artist and shit. You know what I mean? Like trying to placate to black people or whatever. Black people didn't even vote for him. So I don't even know why he's trying to do them no favors.
Prove nothing else.
But I totally forgot. He ain't got nothing to do with that. It's the pardon czar.
Oh, who he hired? Something.
Yeah, I totally forgot until I seen NBA Youngboy thank Miss Johnson.
Yeah.
He said thank you to Mr. Trump too. I want to thank Donald Trump, but he said I want to give a special shout out to Miss Johnson. That's the pardon czar. Marie Johnson. Play this clip right quick, Will.
for people that don't know who Ms. Marie Johnson is, she spent 22 years behind in the federal prison.
He pardoned her, right?
He pardoned her. Kim Kardashian got her out.
And then he gave her a job.
He commuted her sentence and then he pardoned her. She's free and clear.
Okay.
I totally forgot about the pardon czar. The pardon czar. Ms. Johnson. Will coming, y'all.
He fell asleep.
Nah, he getting.
Then when I kick him out the room, he gonna know I'm woke.
I got your phone number. I'm gonna call you and bother you all night too.
There we go.
Alice Johnson, where's Alice?
No.
Boy, are you incredible. I watched you on last night on television. You were so good. You know, Alice was in prison for doing something that today probably wouldn't even be prosecuted. She spent 22 years in prison, 22 years. She had another 22 years left. Can you believe it? And I pardoned her, and it was one of the best pardons. One of the best pardons. You know what she was on? She happened to be on the wrong telephone line. Is that true? She was on a telephone call. And I'm not saying it was perfect, but it wasn't worth 40 or 50 years, Alice.
It was worth that sentence.
And you've been an inspiration to people. And we're going to be listening to your recommendation on pardons. You're going to go over and she's going to be my pardon czar. Okay?
That nigga be freestyle.
And you're going to find people just like you that should not have happened. It should not have happened. So you're going to look and you're going to make recommendations, and I'll follow those recommendations, okay, for pardons, all right?
Come on, man. Come on, man.
Racist bastard.
This racist nigga, man. This goddamn racist. Goddamn racist. Look, Kurt, I don't even gonna go to you, Kurt, because you're gonna find something.
Please don't. Yeah, I want to reserve. I want to reserve.
He doing it for the views. What you think, no?
That's what he doing.
Black people. I think he's a hero for black people. He should become the new face of Black Lives Matter.
You trying to be funny. You trying to be
like, what is this show? What is this show? Anybody could do this. It shouldn't, it's not, it doesn't take that little to, he's a president, BJ. It's a lot more he could be doing to help the, let me tell you this. And somebody said this in the comments, and it was a great comment. What's his name? Julian. Julian said, they want us to level up individually, not together. It is so easy for any white person in power to make individual black people level up. Show me one person, show me what Trump is doing to level up black people as a group, and we'll make him the Black Lives Matter hero. But he's not going to be the hero because he's pardoning this person here and this person there and doing this law that helps 1% there and 1% here. He's the president, BJ. If he wanted to help black people, he could help black people.
I mean, no, I'm saying he's doing things. Biden didn't do it. Obama didn't do it.
BJ, yeah, Trump is also somebody that managed to make Americans vote for him after having felonies and being impeached. Trump is very good at what he does. He's very good at what he does, BJ. He's very good at staying in office. He's very good at being elected. He's very good at being liked by the majority of America. I'll give you that. He's a lot better than Biden. He's a lot better than everybody. I respect I still don't see any meaningful thing unless he feels very gimmicky. Trump is very gimmicky. So I feel like a lot of this shit could be gimmicks, and he's really fucking good at gimmicks.
Yo, one thing about it, when he was funding campaigns for black people, when he was doing for black people, everybody knew he was doing for black people. Black people flipped on him when he ran as a Republican. That's it. Like they even do black people. They do black people the same way. They flipping on Mayor Eric Adams now just because he sat down with Trump. He not even a Republican. They flipping on him. They flip on everybody. Kanye West, Steve Harvey, Jim Brown. Of all people, y'all could actually act like a coon. Jim Brown, because he sat down with Trump? That's crazy. But I just want to remind people of this right here. Bro. That's crazy. Anybody could have done it. Yes, you're right, Noah. But anybody didn't do it. Trump did it.
The people are... I'll tell you after the video.
I do want to express thanks to you, Donald Trump, for being with us tonight.
There's another one that was been talking crazy about Trump.
Skills, your gusto, your rent package for people on Wall Street who represent diversity. And we thank you for coming tonight. Let's give Donald Trump a big hand. A big hand for Donald Trump. I now want to bring forth a friend who has, well, he is deceptive in that his social style is of such. One can miss his seriousness and his commitment for their success is beyond argument. When we opened this Wall Street project and we talked about it, he gave us space at 40 Wall Street, which was to make a statement about our having a presence there. And beyond that, in terms of reaching out and being inclusive, he's done that too. And created for many people a comfort zone when I ran for the presidency in 84 and 88. And many others thought it was either laughable or something to avoid. He came to our business meeting here in New York because he has this sense of the curious and a will to risk to make things better. And so aside from all of his style and his pizzazz, he's a serious person who's an effective builder of building for the builder of people. Last year he was a part of our workshop, of our panel workshop on what are the challenges and opportunities. And so a year later, Donald Trump, for a few minutes, challenges and opportunities to embrace the underserved communities. Donald Trump.
I will tell you, a large percentage of the people, and especially in construction, that are building these great jobs are black and minorities, and I'm very proud of it. We have close to 25%, and I think the number's going up, and they do a great job. There are no better builders than we have in New York, and a big percentage of that is black and minority folks. So I just want to thank everybody in the room for being here. I look forward to some questions, and then I don't know how we're ever going to leave this building today, because if you look outside, it is terrible, but we'll figure a way. There's always a way, and thank you, Jesse, and congratulations.
Yeah. When did he become this big racist, man? I don't know. You know what I mean? No.
Yeah.
Get out of here, man.
Damn, Kurt is like that?
Kurt don't like that shit.
Fade to black on us?
Kurt don't like that shit.
Wait, I actually have a story I want to end this with. I was gonna tell you today. So this morning, I was leaving Cape Cod in Massachusetts. I spent the night there because I was dropping my brother off in Boston. And when I was leaving in the morning, I parked right outside the motel we were staying at. And there was a sign, I thought it might be somebody's private property next to it, but there was a sign that said like sign up today or something, like there was a coffee shop nearby. So I didn't really know if I could park there or not. But I was just parking for 2 minutes to get my things out the motel and leave. So I parked there, I go to get my cat and my suitcases. And then I come back and there's this old white woman, like 7 years old, and she's yelling at me for parking there and telling me that this is private property. And like she was being pretty rude. And then she said something. I said, "Oh, I'm so sorry. I'll get out. I thought it was for the coffee shop. I'm just here for 1 minute." And then she tells me, "Yeah, well, it's common sense, or you can presume, like just said something to make me feel dumb that I didn't know." And then I was like, all right. There's no need for the attitude. I got in my car and I left. 25, 30 minutes later, I checked out. I was driving, and then she pulls over right next to me, gets out the car, and comes right up to my window. I open the window and she starts like apologizing a lot and telling me that like, "I'm so sorry, like I spotted that you have an accent and I don't want you to make you feel like you're not welcome in Cape Cod," and just goes off this whole rant about how she felt so bad, and she like whispers the word, "I was such a bitch to you," and then starts trying to give me money and tells me, "Here's $30 for your coffee, get yourself a coffee." Which I don't know why coffee would be $30. But I think this was my weirdest interaction with a white person in my life. She was like trying to ask me where I'm from after and just make me feel like, white people love foreigners. And then she gave me $30. I just took them.
What she thought you was white?
No, I guess initially she thought I was white, and then she heard my accent.
Before you started speaking, she thought you was white.
I guess, but then why would she be? And how did she find me? Like 30 minutes later, I'm driving in Cape Cod, and she literally pulls over. Like I thought she was about to beat me up.
You in Massachusetts, man? I don't mess with Maine and Massachusetts. I don't mess with.
Can I say one thing? Have any one of you all went to a used car dealer and how they could sell you a bad car? They make a bad car sound like it's great.
Yeah.
That's what Donald Trump really sounds like, because either that or they haven't diagnosed him with Alzheimer's, because he forgot that he was pushing for DEI, the same program he just got rid of. I mean, either it's one.
That's how you feel about it.
Either one or the other. He was pushing for these black communities, and he was like diverse and equity. He got Jesse Jackson on there. Oh, they let us on Wall Street. But now that he's the president, he want to kill all that. See, either it is or it ain't.
I agree, Kurt. When you're president, BJ, the thing that matters least is your words, because there's so many actions you could do. So nobody gives a hell how many words he said in the perfect order.
All I know is he's doing more than Biden and Obama put together, man. Combined.
He's saying that he's doing something. He's selling you that used car that's gonna stop on you in a little bit.
All right.
BJ, he convinced Spanish people to vote for him, and then literally kicked half of them out of the country. He's not as good as what he does.
Illegal. And
it was
Spanish people that's
yelling at the top of their lungs that was crying because they lost like 5 family members. All of these people had
Spanish people that agree with what he's doing still to this day.
That brother that you
rating didn't go down.
Oh wait, let me ask you this question. That brother who you brought on, the Haitian dude that you let us talk to, that you asked him what government was in. What would he have to say about how they went up in there and just grabbed all those Haitian people and talking about sending?
I spoke to him already. Once again, they didn't go in there and grab nobody. See what I'm saying?
No, come on.
They didn't go in there and grab nobody. You reading headlines, man.
Who are they shipping? Who are they shipping then?
They're not shipping nobody. First of all, they came out here on a temporary contract, a 2-year contract that's up next year, February 2028. Trump did try to send them back, about 500,000 of them try to send them back. The courts already blocked it. I spoke to my man. As soon as I saw it, I called him.
Yeah, I seen what they...
See, hold on, Kurt. Because you already spoke your piece and you totally wrong. See, when I see stuff that might affect my people that I don't know personally, I call them. Yo, you seen such and such? He didn't even see it yet. I'm like, yo, I'm about to send it over to you. I send it over to you. Then you're like, oh, nah, this don't affect me because I was over here since such and such. He got something totally different. That only affects the Haitians that came over here in 2023 or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Whenever they came over here, it was a 2-year temporary visa or whatever for what they call that, sanctuary, whatever, from Haiti, whatever. They have to go back eventually. They have to go back. That's that. You know what I'm saying? That's that. So he was cool. He didn't, he said it is what it is.
It may not apply to him because he came over here years previous.
Yeah, of course. He was a child when he came over here, and his father was in the military, so he has a different kind of situation.
Yeah, that's a whole different kind of situation. But just the fact that you're going out there, a lot of the people here in this country came out of immigration. I mean, some paid for, some rich families paid for their family members to become legalized citizens or whatever. I agree with Trump about getting the criminals, the real criminals. You see, they just got that boxer's son. They locked his ass up and shipping his ass back.
Yeah, boxer too.
Who?
Julio Cesar Chavez.
Oh, for real?
Mm-hmm. Hell yeah. They say he got connections to the cartel. He got warrants for his arrest in Mexico. Yeah, send them kind back. But people that's working at the local bakery been there for generations. Their father worked there.
I don't agree with that.
Yeah, that shit is weird.
I said that before. I don't agree with him. It's messed up because it's gonna be casualties of this because it's like 9-10 million illegals that he have to get out, whether or not they gang related or criminals or not. But I do feel like the people that's been here, productive, paying taxes and all that, leave them alone, man. Come back to them and try to work something out with them. You know what I mean? Other than that, but it's gonna be ugly. It is what it is. But we gotta get out of here, Kurt. We'll gotta wake up early. We both gotta wake up early.
All right, man. We
bro.
appreciate y'all for joining us tonight. I want to thank all the on-air guests, Nora and Kurt, the usual suspects. Thank you for everybody in the chat, keeping it live, keeping us going. Once again, we do it for y'all. Can't do it without y'all. Peace.
Hey, Will, right before you leave, that last segment that y'all had about the music, why you didn't run the good bad dad son? I mean, good dad bad son.
He asked me about it.
We could do it next time
after I shut it down.
Because I think that track is just about radio ready. I liked it. Everything about it. I like the beat. I like how it came off.
Good
even
Dad,
with
Bad
the message.
Son is available on all
put it
platforms.
on now, Will. Can you put it on now?
I was a bad son, now I'm a good dad. I was a bad son, now I'm a good dad. I was a bad son, now I'm a good dad. Will, what up? When I was a little boy, I put my hood on my back. All eyes on me and nobody cut me no slack. While bowling up and down, that cold money was all I thought. And daddy was selling drugs, so it made me say fuck sports. Him teaching me the game, felt like he was passing the torch. In front of projects, I jumped off the stoop, not a port. My OGs was my idols, not no Meech or Rick Ross. And remember, to be a boss, life was always the cause. I carry Christ on my back, that's why they call me the cross. And whenever shit was rough, I just hustle and stay my course. And every time I pull myself back on my feet, digging my cleats. Every step I take, rip up the streets. A gun in a vest, some money and weed is all I need. When I hit the block, my mama started losing her sleep. To love a nigga like me is really not for the weak. I became a villain after that 100 bullets ate up my Uncle G. I was a bad son, now I'm a good dad. I'm hands-on, my kids ain't raised by no iPad. I show up every day, if you a man, try that. Can't call yourself a man if you make a child and deny that.
That's hot. That is hot, boy.